Sunny today, very warm temperatures. Could hit 90 degrees inland, 87 near the lake. Slight chance of rain tonight and a low of 60. 85 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12 o'clock. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, President Trump says the framework of a deal is largely in place for peace with Iran, but an agreement has been elusive on three big sticking points: reopening the Strait of Hormuz, ending the U.S. blockade, and a commitment to negotiate the removal of enriched uranium stockpiles.
So far, Iran has not publicly agreed to this, and that isn't even an agreement, if they were to announce that, of what would happen with that enriched uranium. And there are questions about what the president wants to see happen to it. But at this point, it's really giving some wiggle room to have a negotiation about these critical issues. And this is really what the administration was looking to do about 2.5 weeks ago.
ABC's Karen Travers. Iran has denounced the most recent U.S. strikes as a sign of bad faith as negotiations continue.
Doctors in Europe are working to stop another potential outbreak of the hantavirus. News Nation's Marty Hughes.
New hantavirus cases being reported in Spain weeks after passengers were evacuated from an infected cruise ship. Spanish health authorities say one of those passengers has now tested positive. That patient has been in quarantine since returning to Madrid and has since been moved to an isolation unit as a precaution. Officials say the overall risk to the public has not changed.
17 Americans exposed to hantavirus on a cruise ship were quarantined either in Nebraska or Georgia, while health officials monitored them for symptoms. Only one person has tested positive.
Brookfield Mayor Steve Ponto stepping away from the office temporarily.
According to a letter shared Sunday by Brookfield Alderman Mike Hallquist, Ponto says personal issues may impair his ability to carry out the duties of mayor. The longtime mayor says he is taking a leave of absence until he can determine whether he is able to continue serving in the role. Ponto has been Brookfield's mayor since 2010, and Common Council President Gary Mackhorn is now serving as acting mayor. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
We now know the identity of an inmate who died at the Kenosha County Jail. The sheriff's office says it was 49-year-old Charles Lewis who was found unresponsive in the medical ward dorm Sunday morning. Despite life-saving efforts by medical and correctional staff, he died right there at the jail. The Racine County Sheriff's Office is conducting an investigation.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed results here. The Dow was heavily in the green, and now it's in the red. Down about 165 points at 50,414. NASDAQ is having a nice day, up 250 points at 26,601. And the S&P is up about 40 at 7511. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
There it goes. Did you hear it, Greg?
One of 12 strikeouts?
That's the first time I got to do it in full. I feel like I teased it before. That was the fastball from The Miz. But it's not all about velocity. We'll tell you who's saying that coming up. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 12:04.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini. Celebrate active aging at the Enjoy Life Symposium. Join Capri Communities and adults 55 plus for a free high-energy day at the Enjoy Life Acting Aging Symposium. Live entertainment, a senior fashion show, and speakers like, get this, Melinda Myers and Chef Michael Fecker, the Ukuleles, and Milwaukee's Dancing Grannies. Capri Communities brings it all together for one unforgettable day, Wednesday, June 10th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Register now at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com, and to be entered to win a Green Bay game day experience, that's EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
The birds fly north from St. Louis.
Attention passengers.
Heavy turbulence ahead.
Pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone.
The Brewers take on the Cardinals tonight in Milwaukee.
Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
We've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers look to make it 2 in a row over the Cardinals with Kyle Harrison on the mound tonight. One day after Jacob Mizorowski lit up the radar gun, striking out 12 Cardinals over 7 innings of work. It's not all about the velocity for Pat Murphy, however.
So if he's showing the ball early or if his mechanics are not in place, he's not going to have the command, and it's not going to be as hard to hit. We get carried away with the third digit there, 100 versus 99, but the bottom line is you have to pitch. This game isn't about miles per hour.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05. Elsewhere in the division, the Cubs have lost 9 straight games. Their series with the Pirates continues tonight in Pittsburgh. Block 1 of organized team activities underway for the Packers, opened to the public practice on Wednesday. And in the NBA, the Knicks advance to the NBA Finals. They'll take on the winner of the Western Conference Finals series between the Spurs and Thunder.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have one crash. It's in a busy spot on 4145 North at North Avenue. Left shoulder is blocked right now because of it. I will say it's not causing too many problems, though, which is good news because I feel like it's a lazy Tuesday. It's a slow Tuesday after the long weekend. Everybody's just kind of getting back in the swing of things. 4145 North can be a nasty spot due to the construction, but right now it's not looking too bad. But we do have this crash. 4145 North at North Avenue. Left shoulder is blocked.
Well, it is warm out. Summer-like vibes today. Mostly sunny. High of 90 degrees inland, 87 closer to the lake. Tonight, a slight chance of showers. Partly cloudy, a low of 60. Wednesday, pretty similar forecast here. Slight chance of rain. A little cooler near the lake. 85 inland, 75 near the lake. A little bit of a cool-off on Thursday with the high of 72 inland. Friday, sunny and 77. Saturday, sunny and 72. Feels like summer is here. It is 85 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Yeah, not a cooler by the lake sort of day today. Did a little walk outside because we don't have windows in here, so I need to experience what's happening outside before I come in here and tell you what's happening outside. In fact, people driving around probably have a better idea what's happening outside than we do. And we communicate it every 10 minutes. But that's a different story. And it's warm. It's a legitimately warm day here downtown.
I knew it was going to be very nice. Even last week, before the long holiday weekend, we were saying, look at Sunday, look at Monday, looks fantastic, right? But then this morning, when I heard we could hit 90, I thought, whoa. And then I went to the closet and thought, what the heck am I going to wear? Wasn't really prepared to wear something that was work attire for 90s. I made it happen. I don't know if I love it, but I made it happen.
We are here. It is 12:09. Wisconsin's Midday News just beginning here.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Finally, something most people agree on. Yet it didn't happen. Results just released today from a new Marquette University Law School poll show 80% of voters say lawmakers should have passed the tax relief deal. The proposal would have used part of the state's surplus for property tax cuts, special education funding, and rebate checks. Support crossed party lines, but the deal ultimately failed in the state Senate. Even after hearing concerns the plan could create future budget problems, nearly 70% still said lawmakers should have passed the plan now instead of waiting. Governor Tony Evers found rare bipartisan agreement among Wisconsinites, but the deal still failed. Coming up at 1:45, are lame ducks to blame?
Number 2, the Wisconsin Center District Board actively evaluating the future of CEO Marty Brooks. They could make a decision as early as today. Personnel inquiries and strategic disagreements seem to be at the heart of the matter here. Number of board members are reportedly frustrated that Brooks retained an Illinois-based consulting firm to study the future of the Miller High Life Theater and Milwaukee Panthers Arena without seeking prior board approval. Then, in November of 2025, Milwaukee Common Council President Jose Perez reported that Brooks pinched or squeezed his butt at a dinner gathering downtown 1 month prior. Perez even recorded a phone call between he and Brooks that became public.
The fact that you're acting that way, and you want me to tell you that you pinched my butt?
Oh, come on. I did not do that.
You did too.
That is bull. No, sir, I did not do that.
No charges were brought against Brooks. Still, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and reporter Tom Dakin asked by Wisconsin's Afternoon News if he believes Brooks will remain on the job.
We think it seems unlikely. I think he has lost support of the majority of the board.
So it's a closed session today, and his future will be deliberated, and no formal public vote or anything like that. So a definitive final timeline for his dismissal or retention, for that matter, it's not exactly clear. Brooks does have 1 year remaining on his contract.
Well, have you seen this yet? The Greek Freak teaming up with The Rock in a new promo for the upcoming Moana movie.
You are the Greek freak, but to be a true demigod, just like Maui, you gotta have a fearsome tattoo.
Mini Greek freak is adorable.
It's had me wondering if Buck superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo is in the new Moana movie. He is not listed in the credits, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stars in the Disney flick. And we're streaming the video, the promo, live right now. You can see it. It's going viral. It's kind of wacky. The campaign is called From Milwaukee to Motunui. Niu. Have you seen it? I was going to say,
yeah.
I had to look it up.
I'm pretty well versed in Moana.
And I think I just botched it there. From Milwaukee to Motunui. Close.
Oh, you're working on it. It's good. There's a bunch of different...
I have never been there, and I have never seen the movie, but I know it's very popular, and so I was checking it out. I have like a little pronunciation in there. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. But Giannis, oh my gosh, his kids are absolutely going to love this.
I think it's Montanui.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
I said it wrong myself.
I think I just said it slowly, too slow that first time. The social media collab leans heavily into the Greek Freak moniker to reimagine Giannis as a literal Disney demigod.
Well, the Heart of Te Fiti was restored in Moana #1. So Moana #2, that quickly got erased from my mind because it was nowhere near as good as the original.
Never is, right? It's rare if the second one's good.
I'm hoping that a third. It's a great franchise,
yeah.
right? The Rock plays a big role, but I'm not surprised that it's returning, but hope to see a little uptick. 1 was a really good one. That's a good movie.
When Giannis puts the wig on and then they've got a fan going and his hair is just like blowing in the wind like he's some supermodel or a Disney demigod, that kind of made me go, But, it's going to get some laughs. New Moana movie, by the way, because I know a lot of you are fans, comes out in July.
Speaking of the Bucks, one of their stars here, Bobby Portis, remember when his house was burglarized shortly after a tip-off of a game in 2024? Well, that was part of a string of burglaries, and now there's some police intervention here. We've got the latest in that string of burglaries after this.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, sounds good, Vinny. Greg Matzik here for Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive in Brookfield. Drove by Sorens Ford yesterday. As a matter of fact, I drive by it every day. It's just a couple of miles away from our house. Conveniently located right in the heart of Brookfield and the home of the nice guys since 1917. This is Sorens Ford. You know the name. Did you know they've been around since 1917? Fourth generation, family-owned business right in the heart of Brookfield with incredible inventory and incredible service. In fact, my wife needed an oil change in her vehicle recently. We also needed the tires rotated. They said, no problem. Greg, we'll come pick up the vehicle from your house. We'll bring it back to our dealership. We'll perform the services and get it back to you in just a couple of hours. No problem. It was on a Friday during the workday. My wife never had to leave the house. And just like that, we had 2 big things crossed off our weekend to-do list. Sorens made it easy for us. They'll do the same for you with service and in sales. Great inventory, new and used Fords and other. Check it out. If you don't see what you like, ask the friends at Sorens to find it for you. Great people, home with the nice guys since 1917, and a dealership I trust. It's Sorens.com, SOERENS.com.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
Beautiful, warm, summerish kind of day here. High of 90 degrees inland, just slightly cooler near the lake with a high of 87. Might see some sprinkles tomorrow, but another high of about 80 degrees or so. 85, we'll call it inland, 77 closer to the lake. Part of a nice stretch here. Not a lot of rain in the forecast. Anything that comes down likely not going to last very long in the next few days. So enjoy it. It's here. It's 85 in Milwaukee at 12:15. Remember the string of athlete burglaries that popped up about a year and a half ago? It was 2024. It was Patrick Mahomes' house and Travis Kelce's house, and Bucs forward Bobby Portis had his home burglarized while the team was playing at Fiserv Forum. It just seemed like every week something was happening where a professional athlete had their home invaded while they were off doing their professional job.
I'll never forget it, and I think mostly because it would have been one thing if it was just 1 or 2 stars elsewhere. But then all of a sudden, when it hit our stars, the Bucs, and Bobby Portis in River Hills, that's one that made you go, really? They're targeting our guy on the Bucs? But not only that, he lives in River Hills, which if you would ask people around the state, maybe even people around the state don't know. I mean, a lot of us know. I mean, my grandparents lived in River Hills. My uncle lives in River Hills. I know it being here. But if you'd ask people around the country, I don't think a lot of people know River Hills, Wisconsin. So all of a sudden it was like, how did they target Bobby, who lives in River Hills, Wisconsin? But they did, and he was one of many.
Well, it had us all wondering at the time, is this all copycat crimes? Is this all, I see what they did there, and Joe Burrow was playing football for the Bengals. He's not home, therefore his house is open. This is the time to strike. So we didn't really know at the time who was all behind this, but what we've learned is that it became a very organized crime ring. Well, 6 men allegedly connected to this series of athlete burglaries, including Kelce, Mahomes, and Portis, are now under arrest in South America.
Back in 2024, the Chiefs were just minutes into a game when the thieves broke into Kelce's home and stole jewelry, watches, cash, and other luxury merchandise. Hours earlier, a burglary was reported at Mahomes' home. And the following month, authorities say the same crew targeted the home of Milwaukee Bucks player Bobby Portis during a game.
So they were incredibly sophisticated jobs, and the FBI even warned the different professional sports leagues that these people know what they're doing, right? They did extensive ground surveillance before striking. Among their tactics, they posed as delivery drivers. They posed as maintenance workers in the area. Even neighborhood joggers that would sort of canvass the neighborhood and see the movements of the athlete and the neighbors, who was around and who wasn't at certain times. Well, the FBI ended up cracking this thing, and they secured a warrant for one of the suspects' iCloud account. So investigators found selfies. These guys got a little...
They're showing off what they got.
Yes,
yeah.
They screwed it up. They went from sophisticated to very stupid in a short amount of time, posing with the stolen jewelry on social media. Well, that ultimately led to them being tracked down. The suspects most recently now were tracked down after a traffic ticket in Argentina that tied them to a May 15th break-in at the home of a tennis star. You've got this broader federal case as well involving 7 Chilean nationals who were indicted in the United States. But this is all together. I remember a traffic stop where the trunk was popped and all these jewelry and stuff taken from people's homes and jerseys and whatnot were found in the trunk of a vehicle. So, but it continues today with the apprehension of additional members.
Well, and with Bobby, wasn't it his championship ring? Wasn't that among the reports, what was stolen? I mean, it's one thing when you have a high-end watch, right? Or maybe you've got some other souvenir, your jersey. I mean, it's your jersey, but sometimes it's about what it is. I mean, maybe it's a special jersey. There's a particular reason that he loved that jersey. Or if you're talking about a championship ring for one of these guys, you can't replace that, right? Well, they probably can replace it. But you know what I mean? It's not the same.
No, and Bobby even pleaded for the public's assistance.
What's good, Milwaukee? I appreciate all the love and support you guys shown me over the weekend regarding the home invasion. I am now offering a $40K cash reward for any information or tips that leads to the return of my stolen items. Please contact info@bobbyportis.com. You can stay anonymous and still receive the cash reward. Love.
So, to our knowledge, that reward was never issued. I mean, the FBI kept working on this thing and ultimately cracked the case after several months. But you're talking about a dozen athlete burglaries in Portis, being the one here from the state of Wisconsin, involving one of our favorite players of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that. It doesn't matter who it is. It's terrible. I almost think this is like when you hear about criminals targeting families' homes when they're going to a funeral. Like, they know the funeral's happening. They know somebody died. They know nobody's going to be there. Like, that's the worst of the worst. And I feel like this is right up there, right? You know they're going to be playing. Someone is likely not at home. But at this point now, it's like somebody's got to be at home, especially when the NBA came out and said, hey, we're talking to our guys about what they need to do to make sure that something like this doesn't happen to them. But we love Bobby. I mean, you can hear the chants when I think about it. Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. And he was talking about how most of his prized possessions were taken. And that's just...
Yeah.
That's just the worst.
I feel incredibly violated. I once had my wallet stolen. I felt incredibly violated after that. And all I had to do was cancel a couple of credit cards, and I was out of $50 in cash. But imagine your house being invaded. That's a whole nother level.
Good point. And I think, too, because somebody went into his house. I remember this is ages ago. You talk about your wall being stolen. I never thought it would happen to me, and it happened to me. I had my purse stolen. But honestly, as terrible as that was, what was worse is back when I was a college kid, I had parked on a street in Chicago. My car was locked, and I came out one morning and I saw that it was one of those CD players that you would like pop on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
like, what
you
did
could
you
take
call
the detachable face,
yes,
and you could pull
exactly.
the whole thing out.
I mean, I think I had a cassette player in the Chevy Cavalier, when I got it as a 16-year-old, but then I upgraded to the CD. Well, somebody had broken in and had taken it out. So that was frustrating, but the worst thing to me was getting in that car, knowing that somebody was in there, and they messed around with the light. So obviously, I think it was like around Super Bowl time. Everybody's watching the Super Bowl. It was the next morning I noticed it. So I think what they did was they broke into the car and then they broke the light. So the light wouldn't, nobody would notice it. Like, hey, who's in the car? Who's in our car kind of thing. And I just remember the next morning and the next nights until I got it fixed. Like that light, when I got in the car, the light didn't go off at night. And that was just an uneasy feeling, and the feeling of knowing that somebody was in your vehicle that you locked up. So I can't even imagine for Bobby what it was like knowing that not only his stuff was stolen, but that somebody broke into his house and was in his house where he makes memories and he sleeps at night.
Well, another step perhaps toward full closure here for Bobby Portis and all the athletes whose homes have been broken into. It's 12:23 on WTMJ. Coming up next, what's up, Doc?
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Hey, Greg Mansick here. I want to tell you a success story here, thanks to my friends at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Here was the problem. Our master closet had become a disaster. Big clunky dresser in there, builder-grade racking when we built the house that just never looked right and was kind of too high on the wall to begin with. Shoes on display, our laundry hampers were visible. It was a mess. And we needed a solution. Inspired Closets Milwaukee came to the house. They took some measurements and put a beautiful design together, and they put it into 3D. We got to see it. We got to see it rotate, and then we got to put on the virtual reality goggles. We got to walk the space, quite literally, before installation to see how everything laid out. Well, 3 months later, and the closet is still pristine. It's not a mess. It's not a source of clutter or frustration. They have transformed the space, and now it's a relaxed feeling going into our closet. Thanks to Inspired Closets Milwaukee. They will do the exact same thing for you. A wonderful wife and husband team, Katie and Dan, know what they're doing. They know how to listen. They know how to design. They put it all together for you in a custom-built space, whether it's your linen closet, your pantry, your laundry room. Ask what they can do in your garage. It was a master closet for us and some new places in our basement that they helped us out with. Wonderful work and incredible people. Visit InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
President Trump goes to the doctor today. Imagine if it was news when you went to the doctor.
Right. They probably say you haven't gone often enough, right? They probably need to make that more of a regular thing.
It matters, though. President Trump is having his annual medical and dental exam today. I guess when you're president, might as well knock them both out on the same day. That seems like a lot to me. Like, I just want to do one. I'm not really looking forward to it. Like, let me just do one. But you're busy. You do them both. I bet he's not waiting in the waiting room, right? You go to the waiting room.
Yeah, does he have to fill out that form? Can he fill out this out, please? Your insurance information, all that kind of stuff.
Like, didn't I do this last year? Nothing's changed.
You forgot to do the back side, Mr. President. Can you do this side too, please?
Can you sign it and date it?
Right.
What's the date?
Who is your emergency contact?
Yeah, no delays for the doc when you're the president. Well, recently, President Trump has been spotted with bruising on his hands and some swelling in his legs, and that's led to some concerns about his physical health. News Nation's Mills Hayes reports.
More recently, President Trump has also faced scrutiny after appearing tired or drowsy during public events. His doctor in the White House also are reiterating that the president remains fully fit to carry out his duties. However, a new Washington Post ABC News Ipsos poll shows that 40% of those surveyed believe that the president has the mental sharpness to serve effectively as president. That's down from 47% last fall. 44% said that they believe he's in good enough physical health to serve, down 10% since September.
Wouldn't it be amusing if sometimes they could just be totally transparent? Like when it looked like the president was falling asleep and somebody could just come out and say, man, that was a boring one. You know what I mean? Like, can't you understand? I mean, obviously, I'm not taking away from concerns that some people have, but think about it. You go through all of these things and just you can kind of relate as a person. At some point, you might not look 100% alert. And yeah, that wasn't the most intriguing one. That was a little boring.
The president is approaching his 80th birthday. And for those who think that, man, he looks kind of tired, he's approaching his 80th birthday. And he famously gets 4 hours of sleep a night. I can't imagine any president going through a presidential term not looking tired at some point. Like it is a job, man, and you are on all of the time. So there's very little downtime in his world. Previous president the same, and the one before that, and everyone before that. Like, you are always on and traveling. And so he's never really been much of a sleeper from what we've been able to understand. So you might be able to forgive a person for looking a little tired on occasion. But the bruising, all that stuff, it's become more, I guess, public. And yes, you're looking for your president, whoever it is, regardless of the side, to be in good health to run the country.
Today's exam is President Trump's third in 13 months. It's his fourth since he returned to office. Administrations release selected results from presidential physicals, so we get a glimpse at the commander-in-chief's health, but the results are filtered through the White House, and they have to be approved by the president, so that does raise questions about what the public might not get to see. President Trump, as you mentioned, he turns 80. That's coming up next month. He was the oldest person elected as U.S. president. President Joe Biden was 82 when he left office.
It's 12:29. News coming up. And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. there's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. It's 12:31. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 26th. Your top story, injuries following a dog attack on Memorial Day.
I'm Jessica Ty. A tossed cigarette is at the heart of a local court case today.
Sunny and warm. A roof open kind of night at the ballpark here. 90 degrees inland, 87 near the lake. Just a slight chance of a shower or storm, mainly to the north tonight. Partly cloudy, a low of 60. Tomorrow's high, 85 inland, 75 near Lake Michigan. It's 85 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:31. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a Memorial Day dog attack and shooting leaves Milwaukee police officer and 2 dogs injured.
I believe it's a loose animal complaint.
I just got bit by it, but shots were fired to the animals for pit bulls.
That audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Police responded to the loose animal complaint just before 2 o'clock in the afternoon Monday near 106th and Bender Road. One officer was trying to catch one of the dogs when it bit him. 2 officers then fired the guns and struck both of the animals. The injured officer, a 51-year-old man, was taken to the hospital. The dogs also transported for medical care.
A Milwaukee woman accused of accidentally starting a massive warehouse fire heads to court today.
22-year-old Ellen Stevens is charged with negligent handling of burning material after investigators say she accidentally started the 5-alarm fire last week. According to court documents, Stevens admitted to smoking a cigarette inside the vacant warehouse and discarding it through an opening in the roof. Officials say the fire caused nearly $1 million in damage and forced the building to be demolished. She is scheduled to appear in court today at 1 p.m. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A Verona police officer will not face charges for a deadly shooting in Dane County. 44-year-old Eric Pottinger led officers on a high-speed chase in a stolen SUV before crashing near Highway 18 and Spring Rose Road back in March. Investigators say Pottinger got out with a hammer and ignored commands to drop it. He also tried getting into the officer's squad car. At that time, Pottinger was shot multiple times by the officer. Pottinger later died at the hospital. The Dane County District Attorney says the shooting was legally justified.
New numbers just out today show most Wisconsinites wanted lawmakers to approve a tax relief and education package backed by Governor Tony Evers and Republican leaders.
A new Marquette University Law School poll found 4 out of 5 voters supported the proposal, which would have used some of the state's budget surplus for property tax relief, rebate checks, and more funding for special education. Support was strong across party lines, with the majority saying they believe lawmakers should have approved the bill now instead of waiting for future budget talks. The package passed the state assembly but fell short in the Senate earlier this month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And Wisconsin is continuing its push to expand electric vehicle charging stations. The Department of Transportation says businesses can now apply for federal grant money to build EV charging sites along heavily traveled highways. So far, Wisconsin has awarded about $37 million for nearly 80 charging projects statewide. Officials say more than 40,000 electric vehicles are now registered in the state of Wisconsin, increasing demand for reliable charging options. Applications for the next round of funding are due by late July.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lozica here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer, and it allows my dogs, husband, and I to enjoy our patio every season. Right now, get up to $500 off any awning or screen. That's right, get 10% off up to $500 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
When your business is growing, you may think you need a big bank, but bigger doesn't always mean better.
At Port Washington State Bank, you get big banking capabilities with the speed and service of a local partner. Port Washington State Bank, we get you here.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everywhere you turn, it's plus, plus, plus. Retail chains, streamers, even our phones come with plus. And to think it all started with Hassellus Mattress, because nobody has more plus than us. Right now at Hassellus, get a Queen Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it for $1,459, but Hassellus has it for just $794. Plus, through Monday, you'll also get a free adjustable base. Plus, a huge selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and other big name brands. Plus, free financing. Plus, free next day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, employee-free showrooms. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hassellus Mattress. Woo! All these pluses have me feeling nonplussed. Save big on Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more every day from 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers look to make it 2 in a row over the Cardinals with Kyle Harrison on the mound tonight. One day after Jacob Mizorowski lit up the radar gun, striking out 12 Cardinals over 7 innings. It's not all about the velocity, however, for manager Pat Murphy.
So if he's showing the ball early or if his mechanics are not in place, he's not going to have the command, and it's not going to be as hard to hit. We get carried away with the third digit there, 100 versus 99, but the bottom line is you have to pitch. This game isn't about miles per hour.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05 on WTMJ. Elsewhere in the Central, the Cubs have lost 9 straight games. Chicago and Pittsburgh tonight to face the Pirates in Game 2 of their series. Block 1 of organized team activities underway for the Packers. And in the NBA, the Knicks advance to the NBA Finals. They'll take on the winner of the Western Conference Finals series between the Spurs and Thunder.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We're looking pretty good. The crash that we had on 4145 North near the Mayfair area, that has since cleared. We love that. There is a disabled vehicle in kind of a weird spot, so I just want to give you a heads up. It looks like there's an emergency responder out there trying to block traffic away from it. There's a car out there. This is on the exit to 13th Street from 94 East, so right there in Milwaukee, in downtown Milwaukee. You've got a car that's broken down. Looks like the passenger side door is open. Somebody's outside of it right now. An emergency responder is there. Heads up if you're traveling through. It's on the exit to 13th Street from 94 East.
Traffic is sponsored by Capri Communities. Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium. Visit EnjoyLifeSymposium.com. Live life to the fullest at Capri's Enjoy Life Symposium on Wednesday, June 10th. This free event for older adults includes speakers, exhibitors, activities, and more. Register today at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Well, get that roof open tonight. Sunny, high of 90 degrees inland, 87 near the lake. Slight chance of a shower, mainly to the north. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 60. Wednesday's high 85 degrees inland, 75 near Lake Michigan. Cooling off a little bit on Thursday. Still pleasant, however. 72 inland, 66 near the lake. Sunny on Friday, high 77. Sun on Saturday, and a high of 72. 85 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12. Would it not be?
Okay, where did this start from? That was one of my questions that I had highlighted. Every once in a while over the weekend, like something so I don't forget. And I don't think I would forget this one, but I just write it in my little notepad on my phone. And I'm like, tarps off, shirts off. Where did this come from?
Well, it's kind of a college football thing that has somehow made its way to Major League Baseball. And most recently, the Milwaukee Brewers series against the Dodgers. They had like 40,000 people at the ballpark when the Dodgers were in town over the weekend. And all of a sudden, you had a rowdy group of folks up in the left field bleachers with no shirts on. I don't know where it started specifically, but made its way to Milwaukee.
I mean, can we bring in Adam McCalvey?
Tarps on for
Brewers.com, beat writer. I know I was going to say the same. Adam, I've got to say that this looks like just innocent fun, honestly. It looks like they were having fun. I know some people were saying it kind of brought up some issues or whatnot, but what have you seen from your point of view?
Yeah, and it's not just here. It started in baseball in St. Louis with the Cardinals are good again and really trying to bring people back to the ballpark. And a group of fans, took this initiative and went tarps off in the upper deck, and it sort of became a huge story in St. Louis, and they were in the clubhouse and the whole thing, and the Cardinals have embraced it. The struggle for the Brewers, frankly, is that during this Dodgers series, there were people seated in every section. And I know there was some, on social media, some Tarps Off fans weren't happy because they got stopped trying to get into that section. And I think the Brewers were trying to figure out, how do you let people, go in this section for something that's really cool and this grassroots thing that they love and everybody loves, when you have people who paid for those tickets and it's not as easy as just having them move. That sounds easy, and then it's harder to do when you're trying to give them a ticket somehow. So I think a team like the Brewers that is blessed to have great attendance are struggling to figure that out, and that was one of the things that they stressed about over the weekend. But we had a big Tarps Off contingent yesterday against St. Louis, and I think it's going to keep going.
Well, it makes all the sense in the world. You get Miz on the mound. You've got Monday. The sun is out. You got the Cardinals in town, a second-place team. And all of a sudden, you're looking at Miz as like something you mentioned about a year ago. They think this guy can be Hall of Fame good. They think he is that good. And I that really caught my attention, Adam, when you said something like that, because you don't do that unless it's warranted, unless you really believe that's what the team thinks. Well, here he is, and he's got 100 strikeouts, just over a month and a half into the season. He's been nothing short of phenomenal. The league usually punches back. Nobody has punched back against him yet.
Well, it's hard to punch back when he's throwing 103.4, whatever, and it's being released kind of like on you. He has this extension because he's 6'7". That's a huge part of pitching, and it's all measured now by StatCast. You can look at extension from all the pitchers, and it's a big part of success for a lot of guys. When you combine those two things, it's just really hard to do anything with it. You have to hope it's one of those days where he's not commanding the baseball. And yesterday, he walked the leadoff guy. He had the big velo, but he walked the leadoff hitter, and it was like, uh-oh, what is this day going to be like? And then he locked back in, and he starts on this strikeout spree. To be a Hall of Famer, it's this combination of stuff, number one, talent, the mind for it, command of the baseball, health. Those are the things that come to my mind. And, Jacob Mizorowski, the rookie, didn't have all of those things. He certainly didn't have command of the baseball in the second half of last season. The mind for this is still growing, right? He's learning how to use this stuff. And in the major leagues, you have all these advanced tools where everything's measured and they can hone in on the smallest thing. He's got different level of assistance to take that next step when he's in the big leagues. So, man, if he can stay healthy, this is a monster. And it's really special. And I'll tell you, when they do the introductions, they're different right now. When Mizorowski comes up, it's loud. And that's always the sign to me that, like, the casual fan, the parents and kids, like, he's captured everybody's imagination right now. And you hear that in the ballpark.
Yeah, the Miz definitely raising the bar here. It's probably something about his family genes, but I also see that you have a story, Adam, about his blue genes. What does that have to do with it?
Jim Henderson, one of their great pitching coaches, gave me this little nugget yesterday, and Mizorowski had already kind of departed to do his post-pitch work and shower and all that stuff. So I couldn't ask him about it. So I pinning this fully on Jim Henderson, that there was a bullpen maybe 3 weeks into the season where he started throwing 99 in the bullpen, which you don't see when you don't have the adrenaline of the crowd and everything. It's very, very rare. And they started just to see him grow into this body. If you think about when he first came up last year, Pat Murphy called him a baby giraffe, and you can picture what that looks like. He's bigger now, and you can see the work that he put in the offseason, because pitching starts with your legs. Velo comes from your legs. There's very little to do with your arm. And he spent a lot of time working on his lower half, his lower body. And Henderson said the pitching coaches joked that he looks like he needs bigger genes. And according to Jim Henderson, he did need bigger genes, that he's up 2 sizes in his pants because he's just grown. His lower half has grown. And that's where this velo is coming from. That's how he's throwing 102.4 in the 7th inning yesterday. He had that cramping issue in some other starts. He's kind of powered through that. And I asked Jim Henderson about, like, at what point did you believe this is real? And he said, at some point when he's doing it and you're watching it, you just believe because he's shown it. And it's almost like Jacob Mizorowski had to show himself that this is what he's capable of in terms of sustaining this deep into games. That's what makes it so special. It's not 103 in the first inning, which he did 8 times yesterday. Nobody's ever done that.
Wow.
Under the tracking that we have. It's 102 in the 7th. That's more impressive. That's the story about what he's doing here. And he's mixing in those other pitches. He's commanding a slider. He's dropping a curveball when he needs to. He is a really, really tough opponent right now. And again, if this guy stays healthy, he has a chance to be really special.
If it weren't for Miz, maybe the best story on the team would be the guy starting tonight, Kyle Harrison, who's got an ERA of 1.77. Only Sabathia in 2008 had a better ERA through his first 9 starts as a Brewer. I mean, this guy's been incredible too. My worry here, Adam, is that when you get toward the trade deadline or you get into the offseason, people are going to see Matt Arnold's number pop up in their cell phone, and other GMs aren't even going to answer anymore. Like, I'm done with this team, right? That they take our guys and turn them into all-stars. What the heck?
Well, yeah, that is put that in the good problem to have category, I think. And, David Stearns, he certainly made some regrettable trades as well, but he made more good trades than bad, and he kind of had that reputation as well. And it shows that they've built a system here where they are able to evaluate stuff and put it through their little computer. It's not a little computer. Their system for projecting what guys can be. And they're able to identify one or two things. Number one, they're able to identify some tweaks that can take a guy to the next level. And Kyle Harrison has made some changes, including a split changeup that he's throwing and had success with. But then the key to that is you have to communicate it to the player in a way that is understandable, executable, and get buy-in from the guy. And I think it's one of these cycles of success. Once you have, go all the way back to like Chase Anderson and Zach Davies. They unlocked something in those guys that they became a better pitcher in Milwaukee than they were elsewhere. It leads to the next. You make Corbin Burns into a Cy Young winner after in 2019 he was statistically maybe the worst pitcher in the National League as he was learning how to use his stuff. You turn Freddie Peralta into this perennial, 200 inning, 200 strikeout type pitcher. You do it over and over, and it's more likely that you're going to get buy-in from a Kyle Harrison when he comes into a new organization. That's not automatic, and every organization does not have that, and that's part of the secret to what they've done here. And then it goes to credit the guy. I mean, credit Kyle Harrison. When you're in a sentence with CC Sabathia in Milwaukee, you're doing something very, very good.
I've got to ask you, too, anybody in the clubhouse talking about the Bob Uecker mural that's going up in downtown Milwaukee?
No, but I want to go see it today because I saw our friend Susan Kim posted that they're starting on the detail. And I drive past that every day on my way to I-94. So I am really curious to go by and see that today. And I'll have to get some stuff and we'll do a story because everybody's done that story and I'm a little behind on this. We'll get it in the Brewers newsletter because it looks awesome. And everyone who's driven past there knows that's a super visible spot as you're driving. So it's very, very cool, and I'll go check it out today.
Yeah, it's
massive.
awesome.
It is so cool looking.
We've reported on it here at 620, but I think it's just one of those things that people are talking about downtown, and I was curious at the ballpark. So I saw it the other day as I was going by, and I was hoping that it would be a red light so I could take a picture from it. Like I was just driving. Sure enough, it was a red light, so I'm like, very cool in the Wintrust building. It's awesome. It's going to be great to have.
Well, the Brewers are a first-place team right now. The Cardinals are behind them. Meanwhile, the Cubs have lost 9 straight for those keeping score at home. So the Brewers begin the day 11 games above 500 and looking to make that 12 tonight. Adam McCalvy will be at the ballpark. Tarps on for Adam. Maybe a roof open tonight for a nice night of baseball against the Cardinals.
I saw Bernie waving. I don't know that he actually had a shirt, but he was doing something as though he was waving his shirt around the other day. So Bernie was getting in on it too. I think that was yesterday.
Tarps off for the
mascot
too.
He was like, tarps off, woo woo.
Yeah, no more later hosing.
The rules in the press box are no cheering in the press box and tarps on, please.
Okay, yeah, the new sign is going up today. Adam McCalvy covers the Brewers for Brewers.com. Check out his work online. We appreciate it, Adam.
Good
Thank
stuff,
you.
Adam.
All right, talk to you guys next week.
You bet. 12:49.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Well, but when it comes to fighting your legal battle if you've been hurt in an accident and giving back to the community, nobody does it better than Gruber Law Offices. It really is a one-call-that's-all situation. If you've been hurt in an accident, you make a call to Gruber. They fight your legal battle for you while you focus on healing. They have been doing that for 40 years, doing it the right way here in the state of Wisconsin and giving back to the community. If you've been hurt in an accident, it can really flip your world upside down. The folks at Gruber understand this, and they go to work for you with a talented and powerful team, 30-plus attorneys at this family-run business here in Milwaukee, a local and powerful group of attorneys ready to work for you, locally known and nationally recognized Gruber Law Offices. Check them out online at gruber-law.com. Learn about what they can do for you, who can go to work for you, and also what they do in the community. It's gruber-law.com, 414-276-6666.
Ever wonder what the Greek god slept on?
Huh?
You know, like Aphrodite.
The goddess of love.
Do you think she had a heart-shaped bed?
Maybe.
And Hades, god of the underworld.
I suppose he slept on a trundle bed.
I think the Greek gods would have loved the Nevaeh bedroom from Penny Mustard.
Well, Nevaeh is heaven backwards.
And sleeping in the Nevaeh bedroom is heavenly.
Sophisticrafted, sleek, and sturdy.
Along with forever tight bed brackets.
An interchangeable fabric headboard.
Smooth, full extending steel drawer slides.
And drawer bottom strong enough to stand on.
A bedroom fit for a king.
You mean a Zeus?
Yeah, but not Poseidon.
Why not?
Here it comes.
He'd have a waterbed.
The Nevaeh bedroom, starting at just $168 a month, with no interest and no payments till May of 2029, through May 31st at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets. Redo Cabinets is a family business serving homeowners for over 70 years. Now we're in Milwaukee and ready to share with homeowners the benefits of refacing and not replacing those old kitchen cabinets. At Redo Cabinets, we use premium cabinet facings made right here in the USA. You select from dozens of colors, styles, hardware choices, and accessories. And during our Memorial Day event, you could get big savings. 50% off installation of a kitchen remodeling project and a free sink and faucet. Plus, no payments and no interest until 2027. That's right, 2027. Incredible savings. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Nice warm day today, high of 90 degrees, 87 closer to Lake Michigan. Not exactly a cooler by the lake day. I guess it is technically, but you may not notice the difference. Possibility for some rain later tonight, mainly to the north, and a low of about 60. 85 the high tomorrow, 75 near the lake. Nice week of weather here as we hit the early stages of summer. It's 85 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:53.
So this is one of those stories that I listened to it and I thought, this is something that I worried about and I feel like it's just going to get worse. So you have this woman in California who just had thousands of dollars stolen from her because scammers used artificial intelligence to mimic her daughter's voice. And authorities are describing this as a growing type of fraud. The woman's name is Deborah Del Mastro, and the caller claimed her 37-year-old daughter, Sarah, had been kidnapped by a Mexican drug cartel after seeing something she wasn't supposed to. Del Mastro said the caller then offered apparent proof. Listen to this.
It was my daughter's voice.
having an absolute panic attack, trying to breathe, scared, telling me that, I love you, Mom. I'm so sorry. I'm so scared.
So here's the thing. Before AI, we had versions of this, right?
Sure.
You would hear all the time, there'd be a scam like, somebody's got your grandparent or things like that, but it would just be a caller saying that. Now they're upping the ante. It's different because with AI, they're using voice to create what sounds like, in this case, her daughter's voice.
The guy is barking orders. Don't speak. Is there someone there with you? Yes. Don't speak. Don't speak. Just go, get dressed, get out. Get out. Do this now.
So here's a woman, she just never thought she would fall for anything like this. And she soon realized it's all a hoax.
Oh, God. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, and then I did believe it, absolutely.
But you have a lot of people who think they're never going to fall for anything like this, but then you got a little something that kind of ups the ante with social media or artificial intelligence, and all of a sudden you've got different people who are believing it's true.
Well, before AI, you could play the game of who are you trying to reach, and you have that conversation, and it's, Grandma, I'm stuck, or something like that. They're trying to prey on the elderly, and hopefully you'd work your way out of that situation. If I'm hearing my daughter's voice on the other end, like, all of a sudden my heart rate is going up, and I'm thinking, my goodness, what has happened here? And there's probably some questions you can ask, some leading questions. Maybe another person is next to you. You could say, hey, call your son or daughter and figure out, will they answer on the other end? But it's part of the reason I never answer the phone if I don't recognize the number, ever.
They can leave a message.
Back in the day, I used to like to mess with the other people on the other end. Like, you've qualified for a loan.
Yeah.
Great. I never had a student loan, and now you're telling me I can pay it off in one fell swoop, and it was kind of fun to mess with them. But now, no, because even having that conversation, knowing that it's fake on my end, is still an opportunity to offer my voice to whoever's on the other end, right? And all of a sudden something like this pops up. So that is a hard pass. If I don't have your number saved, if I don't recognize the number, I'm not answering because of things like this.
Yeah, hopefully, though, at some point when they say, I need this much money or I need you to do this immediately, hopefully that kind of raises a red flag and you call police. But yeah, I think this is going to happen more and more.
No doubt. It's 12:56. News coming up.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Well, happy birthday to Horicon Bank, celebrating its 130th anniversary here in 2026. That is incredible. A bank that first opened its doors in 1896 is not only still going strong, but they are expanding here in southeastern Wisconsin with relatively new branches now open in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, Grafton, West Bend. It's Horicon Bank. Together doing good. That's their vision, and they have held true to it for 130 years. With financing requests that can be approved in days, not weeks, your banker at Horicon understands you and your business and how it all works together with service and products that go hand in hand. Top-notch service, top-notch people at Horicon Bank. Together doing good for 130 years, and member FDIC.
More savings for more Club Rewards members. Join today and unlock exclusive deals at your local Tysons. Every month, members save big on customer favorites and seasonal must-haves, plus earn 1% back on every purchase. This month, enjoy special savings on an AgriFab dump cart, Keen work boots, a Milwaukee pack-out kit, Sweet Chaos flavored popcorn, and more. Not a member yet? Sign up free at Tysons.com and start saving today. Offers end May 31st, in-store only.
The birds fly north from St. Louis.
Attention passengers.
Heavy turbulence ahead.
Pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone.
The Brewers take on the Cardinals tonight in Milwaukee.
Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
We've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love with 0% financing options available. So you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free at-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires May 31st, 2026.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The birds fly north from St. Louis.
Attention passengers.
Heavy turbulence ahead.
Pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone.
The Brewers take on the Cardinals tonight in Milwaukee.
Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05.
We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 101. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 26th. Your top story, deciding on the fate of the leader of the Wisconsin Center District.
I'm Jessica Ty, lifting an evacuation order.
Mostly sunny today, warm, a high of 90 degrees inland, 87 near Lake Michigan. Slight chance of rain tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 60. 85 and sunny in Milwaukee at 102. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, the board overseeing the Wisconsin Center District could decide the future of its president and CEO today.
In February, Marty Brooks asserted to WTMJ his confidence he would be in his position next year.
I hope so. I have every intention to be.
Despite frustration from some board members over a study commissioned by Brooks on the feasibility of a convention center hotel somewhere on district property. Today, the board meets in closed session regarding potential litigation, and Brooks's future with the district is believed to be the topic at hand. Brooks has been president and CEO since 2018, and his extended contract runs through 2028. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A Milwaukee Common Council committee is considering a proposed settlement involving a deadly police incident last year. The city may pay $250,000 to the family of Haley Linville. Haley died after being hit by a Milwaukee police squad car during a welfare check on the city's south side. According to a letter from the city attorney, Evan Goyke, Milwaukee is considered legally liable in this case. A settlement proposal would still need final approval from the full Common Council, as well as Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
Over a year after the home of Milwaukee Bucks star Bobby Portis was robbed in a string of home break-ins targeting professional athletes, 3 suspects arrested overseas.
3 of the 7 men facing federal charges have been arrested in Argentina and are now awaiting possible extradition to the U.S. A criminal complaint alleges they're part of a South American theft group that burglarized the homes of NFL and NBA athletes while they were away playing games. Prosecutors say the group stole valuables worth millions of dollars, including watches, jewelry, designer bags, and cash from the River Hills home of Bucks forward Bobby Portis. The suspects could each face up to 10 years in federal prison. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Emergency officials have lifted an evacuation order for some of the people in Southern California who live near a damaged tank containing a hazardous chemical. A crack found in the tank has relieved some pressure, and temperatures inside the tank fell enough to eliminate the risk of a catastrophic explosion. ABC's Alex Stone.
Hopefully later on tonight, the 16,000, it was 50,000 last night because of the threat of what they call a BBB, but a large-scale explosion now gone, that's not going to go on, that they hope to be able to get the number down from the 16,000 it's at right now to nobody, possibly later on tonight.
Officials say while exposure to the chemicals inside that tank can cause serious respiratory and neurological problems, they've confirmed there was no leak.
President Trump completes a routine medical exam today at Walter Reed Medical Center. The Hill's Julia Manchester says his health is under a microscope as he nears his 80th birthday.
The president, just a few minutes ago said everything checked out perfectly. He has said he is a very healthy man for his age, and he's boasted about his health. His doctors have boasted about his health. His critics would say that we should all take that with a grain of salt because information can't be shared selectively. However, I think oftentimes with administrations, like I said, a lot of this information comes out after the fact.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is a little off today, down 200 points at 50,380. The NASDAQ is making up for it, up about 250 points at 26,590. And the S&P up about 35 this afternoon at 7510. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
You know what's not off? The Miz. He is the man. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 106.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, you're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Well, happy anniversary to my good friends at the Hounds and Tap at Menominee Falls. They're celebrating its 5th anniversary this weekend. It was a really unique idea when it started, and they have merged doggy daycare, boarding, and grooming in their beautiful facility with a beautiful tavern and dog park. It is really an all-in-one stop for dog owners, the dogs themselves, and you to hang out together. This is a wonderful place, and they're throwing a party to celebrate. It's coming up Saturday, May 30th, noon to 5. It's at the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, right off Silver Spring. I will be there, hopefully seeing you there as well. Live music, food, beer tastings, that's right, fun giveaways, raffles supporting Haws and local animals in need, right at the Hounds and Tap. And of course, your dogs are invited too. If you've not checked out the Hounds and Tap, you're missing out. It's a great opportunity with the 5-year anniversary party coming up on May 30th, Saturday, noon to 5. Hope to see you there. Celebrate 5 years of the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls this weekend. May 30th, noon to 5. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Lefty Kyle Harrison on the mound tonight as the first-place Brewers look to make it 2 in a row over the Cardinals. Through 51 games, Brewers manager Pat Murphy has used a duplicate lineup just once.
It isn't so different day after day, but we use a lot of players in a platoon-type situation. We also build a lineup based on the other team's available relief pitchers. To put 9 guys in the exact same order in the same positions is just not a thing that happens very much anymore in baseball.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05 on WTMJ. Packers begin organized team activities today. The first open practice and media availability scheduled for Wednesday. And for the first time since 2010, the Milwaukee Panthers men's baseball team qualifies for the NCAA tournament. The Panthers begin play Friday against Auburn.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We're looking really good right now. No crashes to report. Not even many disabled vehicles. We do have one out there. This one popped up a little bit before 1 o'clock. Disabled vehicle on the exit to Beecher, Mitchell from 4394 North. As I take a peek, though, looks like cars are moving okay around that. Other than that, the only thing we're dealing with, typical construction delays on 94 eastbound and westbound around the ballpark and 4145 north in construction.
Sponsored by AccuNet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Warm sunshine today, high of 90 degrees inland, 87 near Lake Michigan. Slight chance of rain tonight, mainly to the north, partly cloudy at a low of 60. Wednesday's high 85 inland, 75 near the lake, slight chance of a shower. Thursday, mostly sunny and cooler, high 72, little cooler near the lake. Friday, sunny, 77. Saturday, mostly sunny, and a high of 72. 85 degrees in Milwaukee at 110.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
It feels like this should be June 1st, doesn't it? It's something about Memorial Day being on
so
the 25th.
Early.
It
Yes.
just felt a little strange to me.
You look at the date and you say the 26th, and it just sounds like it should be later. I agree.
We got a lot of May left, apparently, and a warm week here as we get the work week underway here with Wisconsin's Midday News on a Tuesday.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, gas prices showing the first sign of decline, at least a significant one. Remember a couple weeks ago it was down a penny? So we were at least happy it was going down. Well, this is significant. Gas prices in Wisconsin today are down nearly 15 cents from a week ago. The average price is $4.36 in the Badger State today. A week ago, it was $4.50. We will take it. Let's keep it going. Some states, however, are seeing prices below $4 a gallon.
In 6 states now, there are prices below $4 a gallon. Those states include Indiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas. But while oil prices have dropped, it's going to take a minute to flow through to prices at the pump. And in fact, we really need to see more clarity with the Strait of Hormuz reopened for investors to feel a sense of confidence that prices will continue to trend lower.
That's ABC's Rebecca Jarvis. Unfortunately, there's no real clarity on the status of U.S.-Iran peace talks and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump is announcing progress, but the U.S. launched airstrikes inside Iran yesterday. Iran says that violated the ceasefire, and the U.S. says it was self-defense.
Yeah, Iran warning that retaliation against the U.S. is coming. The U.S. wiping out 2 Iranian vessels they believed were actively attempting to emplace naval mines in the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians calling it, what you mentioned here, a gross violation of the ceasefire. The Pentagon calls the strikes defensive. President Trump now advising negotiators to not rush, saying that it'll only be a great deal or no deal at all. ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pinnell reporting from Tel Aviv.
President Trump again taking social media, saying Iran's enriched uranium will either be turned over to the U.S. or to a third party and destroyed. But I have to say, Iran has repeatedly ruled out concessions on its nuclear program. And today, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei saying on his Telegram channel, the Gulf powers will no longer be a shield for U.S. bases, and the U.S. will no longer have a safe haven in the region.
Yeah, so no clear deadline here, and we'll see where it goes from here. You mentioned the gas prices, though. There were 12 states that set new all-time records for the highest gas prices on Memorial Day ever before seen. That was not the case here in the state of Wisconsin, as you outlined, but some neighboring states, some Midwestern states included in that mix, including Michigan and Ohio. Meanwhile, Washington, $5.71 a gallon in the state of Washington, the highest ever for Memorial Day in that state's history.
Ooh, that's rough. Number 3, and just in, a student group at UW-Madison is under investigation over its promotion of the attempted break-in at Ridgeland Farms last month. The university says animal advocacy may have violated campus policies and Wisconsin laws by sharing flyers and links promoting unlawful activity to protest the breeding and research facility. I reached out to the group about the allegations, and the president of Animal Advocacy just emailed me back. His name is Jackson Ray. He says, we were doing exactly what we hope college students would do, which is get involved in the community and advocate for social change. We will continue to exercise our First Amendment right to political speech and act towards a better world. Now, important to note, I also reached out to the university. UW is not conducting a criminal investigation, but a student organization conduct investigation. So the bottom line is there is an investigation going on here, and the concern really is that something like this could have a chilling effect on free speech and First Amendment rights on campus. So we'll work. We've got a Brewers baseball game tomorrow, so there will be no midday show, but we'll work. Jackson is available to come on the show, so we'll see if we can get him on later in the week.
It's 1:15 here on WTMJ. The latest scams you need to know about, how to not be fooled. What about this latest AI replication of a woman's voice? We'll have it for you. Lisa Schiller of the BBB joins us after this.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Well, according to a UBS billionaires survey, the top things that worry high net worth individuals are tariffs, geopolitical conflict, and policy uncertainty. That's a big word there, right? Uncertainty. It can really have an effect on your portfolio. These are real concerns and issues that Annex Wealth Management can help you with. Greg Matzik here. No matter where you are in your financial journey, just getting started or maybe you're close to retirement, the folks at Annex can help. They review your portfolio as really frequently as you need to with their expert financial team to see if you're on track. We know that market shifts, costs change, and your own priorities may also change over time with life-changing events. Annex takes the time to understand your situation. They build a customized plan for you. They did it for us. My wife and I, we have had all of our services conducted by Annex for the last 7 or 8 years, and they've been fantastic. Educational, helping our money grow toward our retirement, which is a distant future away. But nonetheless, we want to be on the right track. We want to know we're on the right path. With Annex Wealth Management, we are confident that we are. Very visible in financial education, the folks at Annex Wealth Management, they've got webinars on inflation and in jobs, economy, tax strategies, in-person events to help keep you informed and stay prepared as the market fluctuates. Got the next one on the schedule here at the Brookfield headquarters. Join the folks from Annex at their headquarters June 18th for Saving the Family Cottage. It's up north season, right? Conversations about that vacation property might come up a little more often. The folks at Annex can help you with it. Check it out. June 18th at the Annex headquarters in Brookfield, Saving the Family Cottage. Click on the events tab at annexwealth.com.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News.
At multiple commencement ceremonies this spring, students, graduates, booing any mention of artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution.
But I think it's fascinating, their reaction to it, and what are they going to do about it?
Only here on WTMJ. Watch the show every day on YouTube and on WTMJ.com.
Sunny, warm, beautiful outside. High 90 degrees today. It'll feel like it. A little cooler near the lake with a high of 87. Rain possible tonight, mainly to the north, a low of 60. Tomorrow's high, 85. Inland, 75 near the lake. And we kind of stick around the mid-70s for the rest of the way. Plenty of sunshine, just slight chances for rain here midweek and into Thursday. 85 and sunny in Milwaukee at 118.
Don't become a victim.
Scams on the rise.
A warning today. Watch out.
Be aware with the BBB.
Should I click on this? No.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Scam Tracker submission show calls her up with this one. Debt collection scams. The scammers are getting more aggressive, threatening lawsuits, wage garnishment, even arrest over debts people often don't owe. It is time to be aware with the BBB. Senior Director of Investigations, Lisa Schiller, is back. Rested after a long weekend, Lisa?
Yes, but not enough.
I know. Isn't that always the truth every year? Well, how do scammers already know personal details? Like your address. I feel like addresses are easy to find, but what about if they have like part of your social security number? Where are they getting that?
Yeah, I mean, they are able to find this information on the dark web very easily. I mean, much more easily than we think. You know, they buy and sell, and, you know, they purchase these different lists with your name, your address, your social security, you know, all that information. God knows it's out there, you know, where we don't know.
And then scare tactics are applied, right? We'll garnish your wages. There'll be you might have an arrest warrant sent out for you. If you don't take care of this in time, you'll be sent to collections. That'll affect your credit report. Any one of a number of things, right? It's sort of a grab bag of scare tactics.
It really is. And that's really why I wanted to talk about it, too, because we're seeing such an uptick on our scam tracker. People are receiving these calls. They're very threatening. You know, the harassment is a good tool that scammers like to use. And people are falling for it. You know, because they sound so legitimate and, you know, they're a little frightening, right? You owe a debt and you need to pay now. You know, we have documents. We're sending them either to your house or your place of employment. That's what we're hearing. So people, you know, give up their information. They believe that it's true and sometimes make payment over the phone. So, you know, we don't want that to happen.
So I think about this. If somebody called and said you have debt and you know you don't have debt, well, that's a red flag that's just waving right in front of your face, right? But for somebody else who maybe had debt or has debt, or what about somebody who had debt but paid it off years ago? Could this happen over a debt someone actually paid off a long time ago?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we're hearing too. Like people will say, you know I owed this debt, you know, years ago. I'm pretty sure I paid it off. I think they rethink it when they get these calls. But you're right. I mean, if somebody, you know, had a debt and they know that they paid it off, there should be some, you know, first of all, some type of proof of that. Or, you know, they should have the ability to get that. But I think the most important thing is that if they get the call from somebody saying you have this debt, you know, they need to ask for proof of it, you know, whether they paid it off or not. If they get a call saying that they have debt, they need to pay it, send the proof and don't make payment until they do.
You know, in certain cases, you will never get a phone call from the IRS, for example. But in terms of debt collection, is it common to receive a phone call if you legitimately are delinquent on a payment or behind in some way, shape, or form, and you do need to get caught up? In other words, is this one of those situations where, yeah, you might get a legit phone call, so be understanding of what is legit and what is not.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You can get a phone call. In fact, a lot of times these debt collection companies, you know, are hired, or, you know, attorneys are hired, law firms that specialize in debt collection. And so that's generally how they begin, is by a phone call. So they very well could be legitimate. That's why it takes, you know, time. It takes a little bit of time to look into it. You know, do a couple searches, give the BBB a call, go to our website, see if it's really, you know, a legitimate company or a legitimate law firm. They really do exist.
We love the BBB scam tracker because you can see in real time when something is happening more often. And you say that this one is up, but just a little bit. But the bottom line is it's up. It's not staying the same. And it's not down. So why do you think debt collection scams are up right now?
Yeah. And you know why they're probably up, or any scam is up? Because it's working. So, you know, if consumers are giving up their personal information or they're making payment, scammers know this. They're going to continue. You know, once, you know, we talk about it enough, like we're doing today, and enough consumers, you know, stop falling for it, scammers are going to move on to a different scam. And we'll be talking about something else then.
Yeah, you said something really interesting, because harassment techniques are often used in this world. Even if it's a legit debt, they like to push your buttons a little bit and get you to pay right over the phone at that time. Can you, as a consumer, say, you know what, I appreciate the information, I'm going to do a little research on my own, and then it's kind of up to the person, right? If it is legitimate debt, they're going to find you eventually. But if you know you have no debt, or your family has no debt, or the service was never subscribed to, or the college loan has been repaid, you can do your own digging on the other end. You control the conversation that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can control the conversation by hanging up as well. You know, which I highly recommend if you don't believe that you have a debt. I mean, certainly collect that information. You know, it doesn't hurt. But don't be afraid to hang up. You know, because if it's something legitimate, you know, you'll get a letter in the mail later, or, you know, it'll come up again. And probably not, you know, necessarily by a phone call or the start of a phone call.
Lisa, as long as we have you here, there's a story in the news today. Didn't happen here. It happened in California, but I just thought, let's get your take on this. So there's this woman in the Bay Area. She had thousands of dollars stolen from her after scammers used artificial intelligence, AI, to mimic her daughter's voice. Authorities describe it as a growing type of fraud. So this woman's name, it's Deborah Del Mastro, and she said the caller claimed her 37-year-old daughter, Sarah, had been kidnapped by a Mexican drug cartel after seeing something she wasn't supposed to. And then the caller offered apparent proof. Here's the thing. I was telling Greg, I said, this sounds like something from years ago when somebody would call you and say, we've got your daughter, or we have your grandmother. But the difference now is they said they had proof and then played what sounded exactly like her daughter's voice. Have you, number one, seen anything in Wisconsin like that? And two, how concerned are you about scams like this?
Super concerned. And you know what, Jessica, I saw that on Good Morning America today. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And, as I was doing, I was working in the background, I could hear this story and I thought, oh my gosh, I have a daughter who's 21. I don't even know what I would do. I mean, and with AI, we have to be aware of this because it's happening. And the ability to take somebody's voice off of, through social media or anything, like that is very easy. I mean, even, a voicemail. I mean, just hearing a voice, and just AI in general, right? I mean, we can't even imagine where it can go. I have not heard of this being reported in Wisconsin yet, but I don't know that they would report it to the Better Business Bureau necessarily. Something like that might go to law enforcement first or the FBI, which I would hope that it would. Certainly if we start seeing any, reports like this on Scam Tracker, I'm going to want to talk about it and let people know. But it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching.
When I was growing up, my dad used to like to take the call and then just mess with the people on the other end. And I was joking with Jessica, I don't know if you want to do that anymore. Even if you know that you're not in the wrong, that you're not falling for this scheme, if they've got your voice, they've got the ability to do what happened here.
Yeah.
So the best bet, if you don't know the number, if it says spam alert, you don't need to answer that. Just don't even pick up. Don't engage. Leave it alone. Don't get your voice out there.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes back to one of our, ancient old pieces of information. One of our best tips is don't answer the phone if you don't know who's calling.
That's what Greg does.
That's simple. Yeah.
Doesn't know it. Doesn't know the number. Doesn't. You know what? I don't really do it though either. No, I don't think I ever do it anymore. Yeah.
And you know what though? And then I miss calls. I'm like, oh, there's that contractor I was trying to get a hold of. I need that painting job done.
And then you call right back. Oh, sorry, I just missed you. Lisa Schiller with the BBB serving Wisconsin. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It's 1:26 coming up next. It is local news and your top national headlines.
Most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Well, before I left the house today, my wife said, pizza tonight? And I said, yeah, no problem. Crack open the freezer. What do we have? She pulled out 2 Screamin' Sicilian. Boom. There we go. We had the Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks in the freezer as well. So dinner is set for us tonight. We're thrilled about it. We'll be in a couple of different directions with softball practice and soccer practice, so we'll collect eventually. Meet at the dinner table. Screamin' Sicilian, $4.25 in the oven for about 20 minutes, along with those incredible pull-apart breadsticks. And we got dinner on a Tuesday night here in our household. You can stock up on a fantastic deal right now for $4.99. If you're planning your own pizza night, stop off at Metcalf's. Pick up Connie's Thin Crust Pizza, $4.99 through the 27th of May. It is a limited time only, but $4.99 on Connie's at Metcalf's. One of many great places to find Palermo's Pizza and one of many great brands within the Palermo's family. Connie's Urban Pie, that Screamin' Sicilian I was telling you about. They also have Primo Thin, which is my wife's favorite. Any one of a number of brands and a slice for every appetite. Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's.
Man, I love the taste of Mequon. This city really has everything.
Yep. There's even a Port Washington State Bank.
What did you say?
PWSB has a Mequon branch.
Oh, you want a burger with some ranch?
No. PWSB has a Mequon branch.
Yeah, go ahead and dance.
No. PWSB has a Mequon branch.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
Port Washington State Bank. We get you here. In Mequon. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. If you're trying to work, juggle life, and keep your dog happy at the same time, look, I get it. We're the same way. Thankfully, we found the Hounds and Tap for doggy daycare for our Greyhound Knight. It's been a game changer for us. He gets exercise, time to socialize with other dogs. We know Knight's in great hands at the Hounds and Tap. They even take care of his grooming during his visits or separate appointments. That's perfect for us. If you're like us and searching for top-tier services and a team you can trust, get connected at thehoundsandtap.com. It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story: arrested after teens are shot over the holiday weekend.
I'm Jessica Ty. What voters really thought.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Where tens of thousands are evacuated, fire officials in Orange County, California say while the threat for a major explosion from a damaged chemical tank has been averted, the crisis is not completely over. ABC's Alex Stone.
This whole thing is looking a whole lot better. With that threat gone, with the pressure and the temperature down, they have been able to cool it off. In fact, firefighters saying a few moments ago they are no longer spraying the big stream of water onto it.
Crews are responding to a chemical explosion at a pulp and paper mill in Longview, Washington. A fire official says that there are some injuries, some are serious, but there's no longer a threat to the public. Despite early voting getting underway today in the South Carolina primaries, state lawmakers are debating whether to redraw the congressional map. A three-judge panel in a federal court in Alabama ruled unanimously today that state Republicans are still blocked from using their 2023 congressional map. An appeal is planned. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. One person under arrest after two teenagers were shot in Milwaukee over the holiday weekend.
It happened near Whitaker Avenue and 27th Street around 4 a.m. Saturday. Police say a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old were injured after a fight escalated into a shooting. They were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Police arrested a 20-year-old man, and they're still searching for another unknown suspect. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
We now know the identity of the person killed overnight in a crash in Milwaukee's northwest side. The medical examiner tells us it was 39-year-old Leandre Brown. Brown was riding a three-wheeled vehicle early this morning when he hit an SUV near Roosevelt and Fond du Lac. He died right there at the scene. Police say the 19-year-old driver of the SUV was arrested.
A new Marquette University Law School poll shows broad support for the bipartisan tax and education package that failed in the Wisconsin Senate earlier this month. Poll director Charles Franklin says 80% of voters believe lawmakers should have passed the bill.
You know, we're such a divided state on so many things, but to see almost no difference between Republicans, independents, or Democrats on whether the bill should have been passed or should have been defeated is really quite remarkable.
The proposal backed by Governor Evers and Republican leaders would have provided property tax relief, rebate checks for tax filers, and more funding for special education.
Wisconsin health officials are highlighting new resources to help families manage asthma during peak allergy season.
The Department of Health Services says a free in-home asthma program is available for eligible families in Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, and Rock counties. The service includes home visits, education, and help identifying triggers like pollen, mold, and poor air quality.
early that can worsen asthma symptoms. State health leaders say asthma sends thousands of Wisconsin children to emergency rooms every year and causes many to miss school. Officials are encouraging families to create asthma action plans and monitor air quality as spring allergens increase. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Medal of Honor recipient Matthew Williams rescued injured soldiers in 2008 during the war in Afghanistan. Today, he's a veterans health advocate and tells WTMJ,
give yourself some love for once. You've done so much for the country. You've done so much for your peers and your teammates. It's time to take a step back and take care of yourself. And at a minimum, buy that extra time for those extra birthdays and extra time with family and the things that you've earned through your service and sacrifice for our country.
Williams urges veterans to get screened for cancer early, especially for colorectal cancer.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
I, Ben Huth, being of mostly sound mind. What you doing? I hereby bequeath the Cara dining table from Penny Mustard to my great-great-great-grandchild.
Really?
Our fine, sophisticated furniture is made of solid wood and lasts for generations, so I'm making sure everything's covered.
Not a bad idea, really.
The Cara table's timeless design will never go out of style.
Hereto and henceforth, my future descendant agrees to the following. They will refer to the table as Grandpa's masterpiece. The table hosts at least one awkward family meal per calendar year, and a strict no crayon rule must be enforced.
That's a bit extreme.
This concludes my last will entablement. Amen.
The Cara dining table, paired with 4 Rubio chairs, starting at just $152 a month with no interest and no payments till May of 2029 through May 31st at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Generational versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time, isn't it, to update the look of your house, but you don't even know where to begin. First step, TriCountyContractingWI.com. Yes, Tri-County's been in the roof business for 47 years, but Chuck, Tony, and the crew also handle siding. They've got design consultants that can help you. No exterior contractor will do what Tri-County Contracting can do for you. TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's siding that'll make you love your home again.
As the weather gets nicer,
don't jinx it.
We all feel that boost of motivation. You start tackling closets, cleaning out drawers, and wondering how things got so out of hand.
The truth is, most homes just were not designed with enough smart storage.
At Inspired Closets, we create custom solutions that turn messy spaces into beautifully organized ones.
From walk-in closets to entryways, we design around the way you live every day.
This spring, do more than clean. Get organized for good at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Skivity. Celebrate active aging at the Enjoy Life Symposium. Join Capri communities and adults 55 plus for a free high-energy day at the Enjoy Life Acting Aging Symposium. Live entertainment, a senior fashion show, and speakers like, get this, Melinda Myers and Chef Michael Fecker, the Ukuladies, and Milwaukee's Dancing Grannies. Capri Communities brings it all together for one unforgettable day, Wednesday, June 10th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Register now at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com, and you'll be entered to win a Green Bay game day experience. That's EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
Amazon Business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers and Cardinals Game 2 tonight of their 3-game series from American Family Field. Lefty Kyle Harrison on the mound tonight. Brewers are in first place. St. Louis in second place. Through 51 games, Brewers manager Pat Murphy has used a duplicate lineup just once.
It isn't so different day after day, but we use a lot of players in a platoon-type situation. We also build a lineup based on the other team's available relief pitchers. To put 9 guys in the exact same order in the same positions is just not a thing that happens very much anymore in baseball.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05 on WTMJ. Organized team activities underway for the Packers. The first open practice and media availability scheduled for Wednesday. And for the first time since 2010, the Milwaukee Panthers men's baseball team qualifies for the NCAA tournament. The Panthers begin pool play on Friday against Auburn.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I wish I had better news here, but we do have a new crash, and this is in just one of the worst spots. I-94 West at 175 South. That's Brewers Boulevard. The left lane is blocked due to a crash. And here's the thing. It's always a busy spot, but that's right smack dab in the middle of our construction zone. So the delays are getting longer. If you are hitting that spot right now and you're thinking, gosh, this seems worse than usual, that is why there's a brand new crash. I-94 West at 175 South, Brewers Boulevard, left lane is blocked because of it.
I think our friends from the Weather Center at TMJ4 are out in the lawn over there on Capitol Drive, just hanging out, basking in the sun. They should be doing live reports out in the lawn all day long here, approaching 90 degrees right now in downtown.
Woo! I was going to say, that sounds lovely. I was actually thinking the same. I wish we could do that. I mean, there are ways for us to get outside here, but we're not connected to the connectedness we need to.
No, very good point. Gina and I did spot some picnic tables on the outside in front of the market hall, but there's no outlets. We got to be able to plug in stuff, and we don't have that. But we do have warm temperatures here, far above normal as we approach the 90-degree mark inland today. Just some slight chances of rain. I feel like after all the rain that we had in the month of April, May was maybe a little short of normal for precipitation, a couple of days where it was noteworthy. As we approach now the end of May, really not much in terms of noticeable accumulation of rain in the next several days. So now those plants that maybe were a little oversaturated before blooming, and that lawn that was nice and green is maybe starting to brown up a little bit. So we're not getting the rain that we might need here toward the end of the month.
Well, you talk about highs near 90, and I said that sounds lovely because of the warmth. I just kind of crave the warmth right now this time of the year. But that's a little too hot for some people.
Definitely is. So, yeah, be mindful of the plants and how you're walking the dog and all that kind of stuff, and get the sunscreen on the kids because sun is shining today. So, yeah, the afternoon and after-school activities, those are in full bloom, but make sure you're taking some precautions. You felt it over the weekend, too. There was some cloud coverage yesterday, but behind that, when the sun shined, man, it was really on top of you. We were at a softball tournament over the weekend, and it was especially warm off the turf field, which kind of radiates that heat. So while temperatures were somewhere around the 70-degree mark, felt a little bit warmer with the sun bouncing off. So the sun will get you. The sun will definitely find you when it's out.
Well, wow. The weather combined with people just having a long weekend for Memorial Day, the lakefront was packed. Absolutely packed. I mean, Sunday, you could hardly move around out there. Plus, you had the kite festival that was going on, so that attracted a lot of people, too. You had people checking out the Field of Flags. My husband and I, we biked down there on Sunday, and actually, it was kind of interesting, too, weather-wise, because there was a little bit of fog out there yet, which created some interesting and nice, lovely pictures to take at the Field of Flags. And just, it's that moment where you stop and you take a moment to realize what all of those flags represent and all of the service members from Wisconsin who lost their lives to give us our freedom. And I'll tell you what, it was so busy on Sunday that actually I went down by myself last night because it was still just a great day. And I thought, I'm just going to take a little walk by the lake. And then I ended up walking all the way down there. And I thought, I'm going to go through it once again just because it wasn't nearly as busy and you could just take it all in. And it's just a great display that they have every year.
Yeah, moving tribute. Beautiful lakefront sort of weekend. Had some friends who were out on their boats for Memorial Day and kind of doing their boat thing. Nice to be able to get that started the right way. So it looks like we've got summer-like conditions for the next couple of days here. I'll take you through the 5-day forecast. Sunny today, very warm, inland high of 90, a little cooler near the lake, but not much. Slight chance of a rain shower tonight. That's mainly to the north. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 60, so you might be in air conditioning territory here for the next couple of nights. Wednesday, slight chance of rain, cooler near the lake again, 75, 85 inland. Thursday, 72 and sunny. Friday, 77 and sunny. Sun returns on Saturday and a high of 72. So very pleasant conditions. A little warmer than normal today, but really nice stretch of weather here this week.
You talked about boating. There were quite a few boats out on Lake Michigan over the weekend as well. And it was interesting because I saw some people over by Discovery World who they definitely had gone swimming. And I remember thinking, I don't know if I could jump in just yet. I bet the lake is still pretty chilly.
Refreshing, but you're probably getting back out after a couple of minutes.
They were having fun. No, it looked like it was 90 that day, but it wasn't just yet. So yeah, a lot of people enjoying it, and hopefully you get some time to go outside and enjoy it today.
Yeah, beautiful day outside. It's 1:43 in WTMJ. Coming up next, 80% agree.
Picture this: a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
Had a couple friends hit up my social media and comment on your basement. They said, holy cow, who the heck did that? Well, Matrix Basement Finishing finished off our basement. About an 11-week project we wrapped up just before Christmas Eve. We were hosting for the holidays in a beautifully finished lower level. It has become the heart of our house, our finished basement, thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. We wanted an area where we could get a lot of people, different age groups, right? If our daughters have some friends over and we have some families over, we can kind of be in the same place, spread apart, still in the same general vicinity, and that's what it's like. People come into the basement and they sort of naturally spread out. Some are in front of the TV watching the game or whatever's on. Some are at our communal table just hanging out and having a bite to eat. Some are just in our little workout area, right? People love our basement, and we do too, most importantly. Matrix Basement Finishing built a beautiful design for us. We put it to use. That finished product is exactly what we had expected, and really more than we could ever have dreamed. It's Matrix Basement Finishing. They only do basements. They did ours, and they're ready to do yours as well. Book now, no payments until 2028. So don't delay the project anymore. Connect with the people who will get the job done. They will be on time. They will be efficient. Had a friend of mine took my referral from Matrix, and his basement finished up about a week ago. He said, Greg, all we need now is furniture. He said, we love the space. It's beautiful. Now we got to furnish it. Matrix did it in a timely fashion, and they are excited about the final product. You will be too. Connect with me, and I'll connect you with Matrix Basement Finishing.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
So interesting results here from the latest MU Law School poll. Overwhelmingly, 80% of Wisconsin adults believe the state legislature should have passed the proposed $1.8 billion bipartisan budget surplus bill that was rolled out by Governor Tony Evers. In fact, I think many believed it would go through because it was introduced by a Democratic governor, and the majority of Republicans seem to be on board. And oftentimes the sticking point is what's introduced by one side is opposed by the other. Well, that wasn't really the case. In fact, more Democrats were opposing of Governor Evers' bill than were Republicans. The bill bundled up a sort of assortment of different things. He had taxpayer rebates, $300 for individual tax filers, $600 for joint filers. He had property tax cuts built in, no tax on tips or overtime wages, and there was also public school funding. Well, Governor Evers touted this as a bipartisan bill, and it was. But interestingly enough, as I mentioned, the bill was rejected by the majority of Democrats and supported by many Republicans. We talked to MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy about it. He believes this is electioneering politics at work.
It's really an arrow through the heart of compromise. Maybe one of the challenges here was that the three people that put this package together, the Senate Majority Leader, the Speaker of the Assembly, and the governor, were all lame duck. But having said that, it was a good package. It was a compromise. And I think on any normal day, this goes through with a lot of support, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, so broad consensus. You think about broad consensus in a battleground state such as Wisconsin, you don't get it very often. Very rarely do you get broad consensus, but only 11% of respondents to this poll agreed with the state's decision to defeat the package. So you hear 80% were for it, and you think, well, then 20% were against it. Well, sort of. 11 were against it, according to the poll. 9 remained undecided on the whole thing. But nonetheless, that's a pretty broad consensus if 80% are saying, we were thumbs up on this thing, and it turned out to be a non-starter.
You could go through all of the results of the new Marquette Law School poll that was just released today, and it's pretty long. There's like 9 different tables. You can really get into it. But the bottom line is you had something that finally most people agreed on, yet it didn't happen.
Had it passed, the bill would have drawn from the state surplus. I did ask Tim about that. Did this have anything to do with diving into that state surplus? And it would have left about $700 million left over.
It's really an arrow through the heart of compromise. Maybe one of the challenges here was that the three people that put this package together, the Senate Majority Leader, the Speaker of the Assembly, and the governor, were all lame duck. But having said that, it was a good package. It was a compromise. And I think on any normal day, this goes through with a lot of support, and it didn't happen.
All right, that's the same cut I played last time. I saved over the other one, unfortunately. But Tim's answer, in short, was, no, this wasn't really about surplus. Usually you got politicians who aren't really too worried about their budget moving forward. Tom Tiffany, running for governor as the lone Republican, said he would have rejected it as well, saying, look, more money should have gone back into the hands of taxpayers. Now, whether that's feasible or not, who knows? Again, Tiffany is running for governor, so maybe he was opposed to the idea of the existing governor getting this funding bill passed. So I get the political side of this whole thing, but it seemed like a pretty big surprise to many that it ultimately didn't go through.
The number that I thought was even more telling was that even after hearing concerns a plan could create future budget problems, because sometimes people are just focusing on the now, right? But then people learn that, okay, we could have future budget problems if this passes. Nearly 70% still said lawmakers should have passed the plan now instead of waiting.
It's 1:51 on WTMJ.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
It's so good, it's still going on. It's the Memorial Day mattress sale at Steinhoffel's. Hey everyone, it's Jessica Ty. This is the best time to save on all the leading brands and take advantage of Steinhoffel's 60-month 0% financing. Save up to $1,000 on Tempur-Pedic and Beautyrest Split King adjustable base sets known for comfort, innovation, and support. Plus, Helix Sleep's award-winning mattresses are now exclusively at Steinhoffel's. Try in store and save today. Shop the Memorial Day mattress sale. Steinhoffel's, Wisconsin's mattress leader.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, let's talk barbecue. It's summer in Wisconsin. It's hot out, hopefully. And we're all going to be grilling brats and burgers. Let's have some fun talking about barbecue with one of our great partners here at WTMJ. That's coming up.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, it's the official end of an era here. CBS Radio is no longer a thing, closing up shop after 99 years. They had their final broadcast, final newscast at 10 o'clock Central Time on Friday. And then ABC and CBS both do status updates. So every half hour, in every hour, you get a 1-minute update, and it's usually the news of the day. We take ours from ABC at 30 minutes and 30 seconds after every hour on this program, unless we get long-winded in the previous segment, and sometimes we miss it, and Gina has to do some surgery to get us back on the clock. That's a peek behind the curtain. Nonetheless, CBS Radio closed up operations with its final news update at 10:31 p.m. Friday evening.
CBS News Special Report. After 99 years, CBS News Radio is going off the air tonight. For this final newscast, the news anchors you've been listening to for years wanted to say goodbye. The longtime anchor of the CBS World News Roundup, Steve Kathan.
Well, we are saying farewell this morning. America's longest-running newscast signs off for the last time.
Washington correspondent Allison Keyes.
I want to shout out my colleagues from Steve Kathan to Deborah Rodriguez to Cammie McCormick, Stacy Lynn, Linda Kenyon, Jim Krasula, and so many others who have given their hearts to this company and to the news. Thanks to our copy editors, desk associates, tape ops, and also our amazing engineers and IT folk.
Morning anchor Deborah Rodriguez agrees.
My gratitude to each and every one of you. And for one last time, this is CBS News Radio.
And Edward R. Murrow.
Good night and good luck.
CBS News Special Report. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Nothing about the war in Iran, nothing about breaking news, something that was happening at that time. This was all about CBS, and they closed up with a thank you. Essentially, their final report was breaking news. This is the end of the line, and thank you from us to you.
Well, and this is such a hard thing because you think about all the people, whether you heard them on the air, all the people behind the scenes, but this wasn't their decision.
Yeah.
They didn't want to leave. This was a company decision, and they said it was not an easy decision. And the news business is changing, and to be honest, it's been changing for decades. And what was it? It was back in March that they announced the decision to end the radio news service, and the company cited challenging economic realities. This was the company decision. This wasn't the people decision. And so that was, even listening to it, gave me the goosebumps to hear them say goodbye.
Yeah, it's sad, and just another peek behind the curtain here. We subscribe to the ABC Newswire service and the CBS Newswire service, and in our systems here, we can easily toggle back and forth. We can create tabs. I can find the latest from ABC News Call and CBS News Call. I clicked on the CBS one just out of curiosity today. There's nothing there, not even past stories. Like, it is blank. It is empty. I did not go to the website, but I just used our online news service here. Not a single story filed, nothing from the past week or weeks, nothing at all. Like it never existed.
I told Greg, I said, I don't even want to click on the tab. I almost don't want to see it, but then I did it, and there it is, and that's the reality. CBS News Radio. Done.
It's 1:56 on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. That exists. Check out our podcast page at WTMJ.com. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can subscribe thanks to Siding Unlimited. Also, hop into our studio here. Do it for the final hour of today's program or future programs on our YouTube page, Wisconsin's Midday News on YouTube. Hop into our studio with us. That's right, radio that you can watch here on WTMJ. We've got news coming up in just a couple of minutes. Then it's the 2 o'clock hour.
Market swings can feel very different when you're close to retirement. Hi, I'm Tony Drake, Certified Financial Planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. When you're younger, volatility is often something you ride out over time. But as retirement approaches, big market drops can have a much bigger impact on your long-term plan. That's why many retirees need a different investment approach. One that balances growth with protection and provides income even when markets are unpredictable. At Drake & Associates, we help families design diversified strategies intended to help manage risk while still giving your money the opportunity to grow. My complimentary retirement toolkit walks through how thoughtful investment planning can help you stay confident during uncertain markets. You'll receive a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, along with 5 guides covering income planning, taxes, and smart investing. Call 414-897-9522 or text RISK to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word RISK to 414-897-9522. Because the goal isn't just growing your money, it's protecting the retirement you've worked for.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Did the Greek gods ever sleep?
Huh?
Did Aphrodite have a heart-shaped bed?
Maybe.
Did Hades, god of the underworld, sleep on a trundle bed?
I think the Greek gods would have loved the Nevaeh bedroom from Penny Mustard.
Nevaeh is heaven backwards.
A bedroom fit for a king. You mean a Zeus?
But not Poseidon. He'd have a waterbed.
The Nevaeh bedroom, starting at just $168 a month, with no interest and no payments till May of 2029. Through May 31st at Penny Mustard. Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago. PennyMustard.com.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News.
At multiple commencement ceremonies this spring, students, graduates, booing any mention of artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution.
But I think it's fascinating, their reaction to it, and what are they going to do about it?
Only here on WTMJ. Watch the show every day on YouTube and on WTMJ.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
The birds fly north from St. Louis.
Attention passengers.
Heavy turbulence ahead.
Pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone.
The Brewers take on the Cardinals tonight in Milwaukee.
Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05.
We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 26th. Your top story, dog shot by police on Memorial Day.
I'm Jessica Ty. Another state suing a social media giant.
Slight chance of rain tonight, mainly to the north, otherwise partly cloudy, low of 60 after a warm high of 90 in the afternoon. Wednesday, 85 your high inland, 75 near the lake. It's currently 88 and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, Milwaukee police shoot 2 dogs on Memorial Day after one officer was attacked.
Milwaukee police got a call for a loose animal complaint just before 2 p.m. Monday near 106 and Bender Road. One officer was trying to catch one of the dogs when it bit his arm. 2 officers then fired their guns and struck both dogs. The injured officer, a 51-year-old man, was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. The dogs were also transported for medical care. It's unclear what their condition is. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Brookfield Mayor Steve Ponto is temporarily stepping away from office.
According to a letter shared Sunday by Brookfield Alderman Mike Hallquist, Ponto says personal issues may impair his ability to carry out the duties of mayor. The longtime mayor says he is taking a leave of absence until he can determine whether he is able to continue serving in the role. Ponto has been Brookfield's mayor since 2010, and Common Council President Gary McHorn is now serving as acting mayor. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Well, Meta is facing another legal battle over the design of its social media platforms.
Vermont is allowed to move ahead with its lawsuit against Meta, which claims the company intentionally designed its platforms to be addictive to young people.
Meta had been arguing Vermont doesn't have the jurisdiction, but the Supreme Court is refusing to hear the company's appeal of a lower court's decision. It's the latest in a series of legal battles Meta is fighting over whether it knowingly harms children by including features like the endless scroll on Facebook and beauty filters on Instagram. Mike Dubosky, ABC News.
Outcomes in many recent cases have been unfavorable to the tech companies, including a $375 million civil judgment in March against Meta in New Mexico.
Iran is vowing to retaliate. The U.S. resumed strikes in southern Iran, hitting missile launch sites and sinking 2 boats in the Strait of Hormuz. News Nation's Robert Sherman.
While the U.S. views this as an act of self-defense, Iran does not see it that way, vowing potential retaliation. The IRGC putting out a statement here a short while ago saying negotiation with the enemy is pure loss, and adding that the treacherous enemy has once again violated the ceasefire during time of negotiations. The Aerospace Force of the IRGC is prepared for a decisive, swift response and the implementation of measures ordered by the esteemed commander-in-chief.
Meanwhile, the Iranian negotiating team returned to Doha for a meeting with Qatari officials to discuss a deal to end the war.
A Racine County family have faithfully placed American flags on every veteran's grave at the Rochester Cemetery. Patrick Laughlin is the 3rd generation, thanks to his grandfather, who helped establish the local American Legion. He tells WTMJ.
His name was Nicholas Francis Laughlin, and he had fought in some of the most famous battles in World War I as a machine gunner, that he first started putting the flags up in 1926.
Laughlin says his family laid 227 flags this year with many of his nieces and nephews. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We got a mixed bag here. The Dow is off about 200 points at 50,378. The Nasdaq up about 250 at 26,587, and the S&P up about 36 at 7510. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Save big money at Menards and be prepared for the summer heat with an air conditioner from Denali Air. Denali Air units are an affordable option to cool any room in your home. They're easy to install and help remove humidity. Plus, they feature easy-to-use controls so you can keep your living spaces comfortable. Save big on Denali Air. Check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It's the Brewers and Cardinals tonight. Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Crew. He's got a 1.77 ERA in his first year as the Brewer. Meanwhile, Jacob Mizorowski lit up the radar gun on Sunday, striking out 12 Cardinals over 7 innings.
So if he's showing the ball early, or if his mechanics are not in place, he's not going to have the command, and it's not going to be as hard to hit. We get carried away with the third digit there, 100 versus 99, but the bottom line is you have to pitch. This game isn't about miles per hour.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05 on WTMJ. Elsewhere in the division, the Cubs have lost 9 straight games. They're in Pittsburgh tonight to face the Pirates after dropping the opener. Tonight's game 2 of that series. Block 1 of organized team activities underway for the Packers. Practice open to the public on Wednesday. And in the NBA, the Knicks advance to the NBA Finals. They'll take on the winner of the Western Conference Finals series between the Spurs and Thunder.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. If you're on 94, headed westbound especially, but also eastbound too, that's our normal area that's busy this time of the day due to the construction. But it's a little bit heavier with traffic right now, and that's because there was a crash there not too long ago. It has since cleared, so that's good news, but you're seeing just the effects of that a little bit yet, as it just recently cleared. The only other issue that we have, this is not too far from Estabrook Park in Milwaukee County. I do see something new here. I-43 north at Hampton Avenue West. 2 right lanes are blocked due to a fire. Let me pull up the cameras here. Ooh, yeah, this is actually happening right now. Looks like I can see firefighters putting out the engine fire as we speak. I'm not seeing any flames. I am seeing smoke, however, and now a lot of water pooling on I-43 because of this. You've got one firefighter walking around the what looks to be like an SUV right now. A little hard to tell. Could be a car, too. Oh, no, it looks like an SUV. One firefighter is going around and opening all of the doors and letting that smoke out. Obviously, the driver and anyone else who was inside is no longer in it. But firefighters are actively working on a vehicle fire right now in Milwaukee County. That's an I-43 north at Hampton Avenue West.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Beautiful warm day here. High of 90 degrees inland, 87 near the lake. Overnight low 60. Slight chance of rain, mainly to the north. Wednesday high of 85 inland, 75 near the lake. Comfortable temperatures in the mid-70s for the rest of the week. Just small chances of rain on Thursday. 88 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
209 on WTMJ. Nice warm temperatures, beautiful day, sun is shining, feeling like summer after Memorial Day. Did you get away a little bit? Did you kind of soak in everything that the weather had to offer downtown?
I didn't get away, but I did enjoy it without a doubt. Definitely took a couple walks down by the lakefront, did a little bike ride as well. The Field of Flags, we talked about it on Friday, and every single year, it's such a beautiful display that really makes you stop and remember and recognize the meaning of Memorial Day. And you see all those flags out there representing each Wisconsin service member who gave his or her life for us and for our freedom. It's a beautiful sight. It was a wonderful weekend. Lovely weather.
Well, here we are on a Tuesday edition. Wisconsin's Midday News takes you till 3 o'clock.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, right now, a student group at UW-Madison is under investigation over its promotion of the attempted break-in at Ridgeland Farms last month. The university says animal advocacy may have violated campus policies and Wisconsin laws by sharing flyers and links promoting unlawful activity to protest the breeding and research facility. I reached out to the group about those allegations, and the president of Animal Advocacy says, we're doing exactly what we hope college students would do, which is get involved in the community and advocate for change. We will continue to exercise our First Amendment right to political speech towards a better world. Important to note, I also reached out to the university. UW is not conducting a criminal investigation, but a student organization conduct investigation.
Well, number 2, the Wisconsin Center District is in closed session right now, actively evaluating the future of CEO Marty Brooks. They could make a decision later on today. It's unclear what the time frame is because of that closed session. Personnel inquiries and strategic disagreements seem to be at the heart of the matter here, with board members reportedly growing frustrated that Brooks retained an Illinois-based consulting firm to study the future of the Miller High Life Theater and Milwaukee Panthers Arena. He never sought board approval. That seems to be the sticking point. It did cost upwards of $150,000 to commission this study. That almost seems to be less of an issue as it did, seeking prior board approval. That didn't happen. Meanwhile, in November of 2025, Common Council President Jose Perez reported that Brooks pinched or squeezed his butt at a dinner gathering 1 month prior at Moe's. Perez recorded a phone call between he and Brooks. That became public.
The fact that you're acting that way, you want me to tell you that you pinched my butt?
Oh, come on. I did not do that.
You did too.
That is bull. No, sir, I did not do that.
No charges were brought against Brooks. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporter Tom Dakin was asked by Wisconsin's Afternoon News if he believes Brooks will remain on the job. He has 1 year left on his contract.
We think it seems unlikely. I think he has lost support of the majority of the board.
Brooks' future being deliberated in a closed session right now. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is there, but it's unclear when or if those doors will open and board members will leave for the day.
You can't have your leader lose the room.
That is true. Very true. It is 12:12 on WTMJ. An incredible initiative, and you're going to see the effects of it this weekend at American Family Field. My daughter's taken a part of it. Maybe yours has as well. It's Girls on the Run. What does it celebrate and why does it matter? We'll go through it after this.
The second you hear this,
fly ball left center.
You know exactly who it is.
Strong is on the move. He's running out of room. It's gone!
Brewers play-by-play man, Jeff Levering. And he's our Brewers 360 guest every Wednesday at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think it's a totally different story from Miz, but he does need to learn how to communicate. It's not a bad thing if you're done after 5. That's okay.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Hannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
Greg Matzik here for Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Was doing a bunch of yard work over the weekend and getting the patio all ready for summer. And a great reminder of the incredible work from Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. We had no idea what to do with our backyard after we built our house. We had a lot of dirt back there and needed a plan. Outdoor Living Unlimited came over and devised a plan for us. We had a beautiful paver patio with a land and stone retaining wall, gorgeous cedar pergola. We've got a gas fire pit. They came up with a design and we were hooked instantly. The best in lighting. I can control it from my phone, all thanks to Outdoor Living Unlimited. And Siding Unlimited did the siding on our house when we built. Now going on about 10 years, it looks brand new. No color fading, no warping of the boards. That LP Smart Side siding is an incredible product. And when installed correctly, you've got years and years of long-lasting, beautiful siding. Siding Unlimited, they were the installers of that incredible product. They'll do it for you. They'll beautify your home's exterior. They'll protect it against whatever winter, weather, elements, or even in the summer, that hot and cold cycles that we go through. Siding Unlimited gets it. Visit them online. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Get out of the house this summer and head to Road America, conveniently located between Madison, Milwaukee, and Green Bay. This legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course has been hosting the world's best racers since 1955. Bring the whole family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. You can camp on site, explore the grounds, and take in the racing your way. It's more than just a race, it's a full experience. IndyCar is the must-see race coming June 18th through the 21st. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Enjoy the warmth. 90 degrees today, 87 near the lake. Not going to notice much of a difference here. Plenty of sunshine. Potential for a little rain, mainly to the north tonight, and a low of 60. Might be an air-conditioned night. Tomorrow's high, 85 inland, 75 near the lake. It is 88 and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:15. Well, it's the only national program that combines physical activity with positive youth development for girls spanning grades 3 through 8. My daughter Riley has taken part in this, and she loved it. She did the run with my wife, Emily. They got a great bonding moment, mother-daughter together, helping girls build confidence. And life skill is really what Girls on the Run is all about. They've got a massive celebration each and every year. This year will be at American Family Field, their annual run. It's sort of the capping event to weeks and weeks of time spent together with a leader at the school, with other girls who are future leaders, celebrating its 19th year of existence in the state of Wisconsin.
And I hear it's going to be a record-breaking celebration this year.
A lot of people participating in Girls on the Run. Tina Jones is the executive director and joins us in our studios. Hi, Tina.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, I just gave a forecast here, and it looks like the weekend temperatures are going to be perfect for the celebration. I do want to get into what's planned at American Family Field coming up, but really more the backbone of Girls on the Run, why it was created. When was this need for girls, and specifically this age range, to get together and show their leadership abilities, show how they can connect and be part of a broader community?
Well, Greg, sadly, we've got some really startling statistics. Girls' confidence is dropping by age 10. There's only 16% of girls are getting the recommended daily amount of physical fitness. Girls, higher levels of depression, anxiety, especially in grades 5th through 6th grade. So programs like Girls on the Run are out there to help build up their confidence, to give them a sense of belonging. These programs are really helping them process their day-to-day lives, which is so vital. And while they're doing it, they are engaged in physical activity and key, and you know this, having a daughter in this age group, they're having fun.
This is so true. And I think it was just last week, we had the CEO of Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast on our show, and we were talking about the Wisconsin Girl Report. And as you mentioned, self-esteem is down, and it's a downward trend, and we don't want to see that. So a program like yours is just critical to help with that. I'm curious if you have a story that really captures the transformation you see in some of these girls.
Oh my gosh, I have hundreds and hundreds of stories, but one that pops into my head, we have this little girl, Ava, who just actually attended our sneaker soiree gala this past year and was there with her mom. Mom spoke about how Ava did not feel like she fit in. She did not have friends. She was super shy. You know, every parent does not want to hear that this is what their child is going through. Ava did the program 2 years in a row. She is having play dates with her friends. She is this little confident girl getting up on stage with this big, beautiful smile. And it would not have happened without having a program like Girls on the Run.
Love that story. I'd love to hear all 1,000.
Right.
Only we had all the time.
You know, it does underscore the impact that this has had over the years, and it's grades 3 through 8. So if it's not a 1-year thing, this is essentially a 9-week curriculum, year after year after year, taking you up really until high school. So it's a tremendous outlet. You can participate year after year. I know my daughter loved it, and she initially got into it because a couple of her friends were doing it, and that was great. But she found that there were interesting stories to share, and their group leader talked about her challenges growing up as a kid. Now a mother of 2, growing up when she was that age, and it was sort of putting an adult in a position that maybe looked a little bit different than a mom or a teacher, that she related her experiences. So my daughter's experience was very positive. We worked together on the run, right? We're a family that likes to be active. So she's like, Dad, how am I going to do a 5K? How do I do this? And we did it together. We learned. So again, we saw her confidence grow in so many different ways.
Yeah, I'll tell you that the coach, we call them coaches, and they're all volunteers. They are there to help facilitate these lessons, but they're truly these mentors to these young girls. Many of them are actually teachers or administrators in the school, so they know the school community. The girls will see them in the school light, but then after school, they're getting to know their teachers in a whole different light and vice versa. And it's just really, really super cool. Again, like you talked about, the lessons that they're learning are just so key to helping these girls grow into young adults.
Extracurriculars are so important, and they're so fun for a lot of kids too. Sometimes it comes with a cost, and you have families out there, especially in southeastern Wisconsin, who can't always afford that. I'm curious if there's help or financial assistance, and how many students you find that need it.
Well, I'll tell you, over 50% of our participants' families are in financial need.
Wow.
So it is so important to us at Girls on the Run that we give access to all girls. And so any family that has this program at their school or a site nearby and they go to register for the program, it's a sliding scale based on family income. So really anyone can participate in this program, and that's what we want.
Tina Jones joining us in studio, Executive Director for Girls on the Run. Do you work to get this into additional schools in the state of Wisconsin? I know not every school or every school district participates, but how do those conversations go? How do you get the implementation here, and how can you help grow that?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking, because we want every girl to experience this program, but what it takes is really a partnership with schools to make that happen, because we want to make it super easy for these kids to go and families, right? To go right from school and roll into the program. So we keep it really easy. We work with the schools. We need to identify people within the school that are willing to be the liaison and help, and they'll go through the training program to be coaches. And then once that happens, then the registration, we send all the marketing materials, we provide all the supplies, we train all of the coaches. So all of that happens from Girls on the Run end, and the school is the site where they're offering a safe space for these girls to practice.
Speaking of help, do you still need help for the big 5K, the annual 5K celebration coming up? And I teased it at the top that it was going to be a record breaker. What's on tap this year?
Yeah, well, we've got over 2,300 girls in the program this spring season that are going to be there to run, walk, roll across their finish line.
Can you really roll?
You can really roll. It's an accessible program. We will have children in wheelchairs.
Oh, wow,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And so they all have a 5K buddy, like Greg was talking about. And so that's a parent or a friend of the child that's going to be going along with them. So we'll have over 6,000 people at this event. So, and it's truly a celebration. It is all about the girls. It's not your typical 5K. We have over 30 cheer groups that'll be posted all around the course out there to cheer on these girls.
Well, and quite a backdrop for it, too, at American Family Field. It's a really, really cool place to conduct that event, and your partnership with the Brewers to get that done, too. I'm sure that's very meaningful because it's a very recognizable area, easy for people to find, plenty of parking, right, to accompany all these people and individuals that'll be a part of the celebration or the actual event.
Oh, yeah. We've got the sausages there. We've got Bango there. We've got the drum line and the dancing grannies and kids' activities. They'll be blinging their bib, and yeah, lots of fun and a lot of family fun. I just love how, again, it's such a family focused activity. And so often what we're seeing is these girls are participating in the program and they're asking their parents, hey, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, can you run or walk this with me? And so it's getting these parents involved who may have never even considered doing a 5K, and they're getting out there and doing it.
I got to run with my niece in Illinois several years ago. It was about 10 years ago, which I enjoyed doing. And my daughter and wife got to run it together, I think it was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. They did it. And they loved it. Nice. They absolutely loved it. So thank you for the work that you do. This very important work, right, to develop confidence in our next group of leaders at a time where it can be difficult. There's a lot of pressures growing up, right? Social media leads people into weird places, and it's important to have outlets like this to make sure people are on a great path.
Absolutely. We just got to get these kids out there being healthy, active, and having fun.
Well, great stuff. Tina Jones, Executive Director for Girls on the Run here in the state of Wisconsin. We appreciate your time, Tina. Thank you. It's 12:25. We've got news coming up in just a few minutes here on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy, and helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, for catching a Brewers game, maybe tonight, Potawatomi Sportsbook can get you there. Make a purchase in the sportsbook or a same-day sports bet. You'll get a wristband. You'll get a seat on the shuttle. Got to have that wristband to get on the shuttle leaving Potawatomi. You don't need it, however, returning to Potawatomi from the stadium. Shuttle pickups and drop-offs will be at the annex. It's right next to the sportsbook. Beautiful sportsbook at Potawatomi. If you're not going to the game, why not watch it at the sportsbook? You will enjoy it. 2,000-square-foot video wall means you will see not only the game you want, but all sorts of games. Every game is on at Potawatomi. Return shuttles, if you're headed to the ballpark, will begin at the top of the 7th inning. They go nonstop for an hour after the game. Become a legend at Potawatomi.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable prices? Right now, get Spring Farm savings on Krylon Farm and Implement Paints, 30% off. 10% off all Better-Built truck, tool, and job site boxes and liquid transfer tanks. And new at Blaine's, select Redmond Rock horse supplements are 15% off. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Restaurant inflation is everywhere, but not at the Mind Chef family restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mind Chef is the most affordable dining destination in the area. The authentic Tuesday Mexican buffet is all you can eat in just $9.99 from 11 a.m. till 8. That's right, $9.99. Unbelievable. Kids 5 and under eat free today from the kids menu. They'll love the world-class game room quietly set away from the dining area. Your teenagers will really love it. Even adults love it. I urge you to visit the Mind Chef today for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Happy hour is 2 till 5 today with half-price cocktails, beer, and appetizers, half price. And Wednesday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is just $8.99. The Mind Chef, right there in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Lots of seating, close parking. You will not spend a lot of money at the Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. Just Google it, Mind Chef, and walk on in today.
The Brew Crew are back on June 2nd.
Fly ball center field. It's hit well. Grisham back. It is gone!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Francisco Giants.
Got him swinging. Threw him a curveball. It's 11 Ks for Mizorowski.
Brewers baseball is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in June 2nd at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 26th. Your top story, identifying an inmate who died in jail.
I'm Jessica Ty. A local kid makes it to the next round of the National Spelling Bee.
Slight chance of rain tonight, mainly to the north, a low of 60 after a brilliant warm high of 90 degrees inland, 87 closer to the lake. Tomorrow's high 85 inland, 75 near Lake Michigan. Sunny and a little cooler on Thursday.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Siebertson. The South Carolina State Senate today effectively killed a proposed congressional map that could have allowed Republicans to flip the seat held by Democratic Rep. Jim Clyburn, a major rebuff to an effort promoted by President Trump. The Republican-controlled state Senate voted to go home till after June primaries without action on the map. A chemical explosion at a pulp and paper mill in Longview, Washington leaves over 10 people injured and more than one dead, say fire officials. Mike Gorsuch, Longview Fire Battalion Chief.
A major chemical explosion. There is no threat to the community. The threat's been neutralized.
Cooled down the damaged chemical tank and eliminated the chance of a major explosion, say fire officials in Orange County, California, at the military aircraft factory, but there's still a chance of a leak or smaller blast. Not all evacuation orders are lifted. Oil prices, U.S. and global standard Brent crude, are still over $90 a barrel. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:31. An inmate who died at the Kenosha County Jail is identified. The sheriff's office says 49-year-old Charles Lewis was found unresponsive in the medical ward dorm Sunday morning. Despite life-saving efforts by medical and correctional staff, he died at the jail. Racine County Sheriff's Office is conducting the investigation.
More than a year after the home of Milwaukee Bucks star Bobby Portis was burglarized in a string of break-ins targeting pro athletes, 3 suspects are under arrest overseas.
3 of the 7 men facing federal charges have been arrested in Argentina and are now awaiting possible extradition to the U.S. A criminal complaint alleges they're part of a South American theft group that burglarized the homes of NFL and NBA athletes while they were away playing games. Prosecutors say the group stole valuables worth millions of dollars, including watches, jewelry, designer bags, and cash from the River Hills home of Bucks forward Bobby Portis. The suspects could each face up to 10 years in federal prison. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, most Wisconsinites wanted lawmakers to approve the failed tax relief and education package backed by Governor Evers and several Republican leaders.
A new Marquette University Law School poll found 4 out of 5 voters supported the proposal, which would have used some of the state's budget surplus for property tax relief, rebate checks, and more funding for special education. Support was strong across party lines, with the majority saying they believe lawmakers should have approved the bill now instead of waiting for future budget talks. The package passed the state assembly but fell short in the Senate earlier this month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Brewers players traded baseball gloves for hard hats in Milwaukee this morning.
Milwaukee Brewers players helped kick off construction on a new Habitat for Humanity home. Brewers pitcher D.L. Hall tells WTMJ.
Growing up, I moved around a pretty good bit. I had a bunch of different houses. Being able to give somebody a steady place to call home and go back to the same place every night is pretty special to me.
First baseman Andrew Vaughn tells WTMJ.
I think for somebody and for the city of Milwaukee, I think that's awesome what they're doing here.
Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity says the home is one of 40 affordable homes planned for this year for first-time buyers. Nicer Spencer, WTMJ News.
And a middle school student from New Berlin advances to the quarterfinal round of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. 13-year-old Ethan Robert from New Berlin correctly spelled the word Gormacke in round 1. You want to give it a shot, Jessica?
Oh, I would say yes, but it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be right, Greg, because I'm staring at it right now.
Okay. I would still find a way to screw this up.
Gormacke. G-U-R-M-U-K-H-I. Gormacke. That is correct.
I would have done G-O-R instead of G-U-R. Nevertheless, he did well throughout the course of the day today, providing the correct definition of the word prosperous in round number 2. Robert previously tied for 10th place in the 2025 competition. He competes in the quarterfinals on Wednesday.
What a blast. I love rooting for our local people in the spelling bee.
Is Shabuzi still doing the halftime show, or was that a one-year thing for 2025?
That was so fun.
It was very strange.
But I don't actually know what the names of his other songs are, but I was going to say, he's got some better songs than the one you're thinking of that you thought was not appropriate for the National Spelling Bee.
Something about a double shot of whiskey just didn't seem like it would have played well at the Scripps National Spelling Bee, but I don't know how you get by without playing that song either.
Which also, when you talk about those words, it also makes you wonder not only how to spell them, but what exactly they are. So I always think it's interesting, too, because a lot of times you don't know. So you look it up, and it's like, the standardized writing system primarily used in India.
It is interesting.
The more you know.
Yeah, I thought it was the German word for pickle. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:35.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Are you like me? Do you stress about your home, how it looks, or maybe you're worried about something leaking? Well, you can live with peace of mind and without stress by getting a new roof from Tri-County Contracting. Get yourself a free instant roof quote right now. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's that easy. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Now that the weather is becoming wonderful, let's think less work, more play. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited replace that deck, build the outdoor kitchen, add a covered structure. How about an automated pergola with automated screens? Let us build a space for you that you'll never have to paint. All you need to do is play, enjoy, live. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. The showroom is amazing, perfect to start your journey. Less work, more play, Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. It's lefty Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Brewers tonight, looking to make it 2 in a row over the Cardinals. Expect a different lineup for Pat Murphy. He's done so several times this season. Through 51 games, Murphy has used a duplicate lineup only once.
It isn't so different day after day, but we use a lot of players in a platoon-type situation. We also build a lineup based on the other team's available relief pitchers. To put 9 guys in the exact same order in the same positions is just not a thing that happens very much anymore in baseball.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05 on WTMJ. Packers begin organized team activities today. Their first open practice is scheduled for Wednesday. And for the first time since 2010, the Milwaukee Panthers men's baseball team qualifies for the NCAA tournament. Panthers begin play Friday against Auburn.
Checking out the roads with your time saver traffic. We do have a new incident that popped up about 9 minutes ago here. I-43 north at Kilbourne Avenue. The right lane is closed, and DOT is reporting it is due to an incident. I'm pulling up the cameras here to try to see what it is. I can tell you right now, it looks like emergency responders are out there. It looks like there's one fire truck out there, another emergency responder. I only see, from my vantage point here, one, actually, maybe there's 2 cars out there. There are a couple people outside of the cars as well. Bottom line for you, if you are driving in this area, you will be impacted by it. Traffic is slowing down just a little bit here. People are just merging over to get out of the way. That's I-43 north at Kilbourne Avenue. The right lane is closed because of that. Also, still paying attention to this, what was a car fire. This in Milwaukee County, more so closer to Estabrook Park on 43. It's I-43 north at Hampton Avenue West. The right shoulder was closed because of a fire. Last time I chatted with you, we actually could see firefighters putting out the fire, and the vehicle's gone now. The fire's out, the vehicle's gone. There's still an emergency responder there, though. And actually, there's one person just hanging out on the side of I-43. I'm guessing, though I don't know for sure, can't confirm it, but it looks to be possibly the driver of that vehicle, because the vehicle's gone. I mean, firefighters were actually pulling open the doors as smoke was coming out. There was an engine fire. They got those flames out. Obviously, that car's out of the way. But we do still have emergency responders at the scene, and traffic is moving slowly right by those cars. So heads up there. That is I-43 north at Hampton Avenue West.
Traffic is sponsored by Capri Communities. Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium. Visit EnjoyLifeSymposium.com. Live life to the fullest at Capri's Enjoy Life Symposium on Wednesday, June 10th. This free event for older adults includes speakers, exhibitors, activities, and more. Register today at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Sunny and warm today. High of 90 degrees, 87 near the lake. Overnight low 60 with rain possible mainly to the north. Tomorrow's highs, 85 degrees inland, 75 near the lake. Some morning sprinkles are possible, but by and large, a pretty nice sunny day. We'll be in the mid-70s to upper 70s the rest of the week. It's 88 and sunny in Milwaukee at 240.
It's Tech Tuesday with ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky.
We're not sure if he will be a judge in the upcoming AI beauty pageant, but he is our guest every Tuesday on Tech Tuesday.
The latest and greatest in the world of tech.
Tesla's next product, they call it a robo-taxi. These are AR glasses. They're called simply the Frame.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's the Tech Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Always great to check in with our ABC Tech expert friend. It's Mike Dubusky. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, doing great. So everybody has a stance and is weighing in on AI, including the Vatican, with Pope Leo coming out with his long-awaited Magnificat Humanitas. Can you break this down a little bit for us?
Yeah, my Latin is a little rusty, guys, but I'm told that Magnificat Humanitas means magnificent humanity, and that's kind of what this new encyclical from Pope Leo is all about. This is his commentary on artificial intelligence and how it interacts with the human race. In this pretty extensive open letter, it's about 42,000 words, more than 230 pages, he calls for a whole variety of different things. Pope Leo saying that governments need to do more around the world to regulate how AI is being developed. He's calling for crackdowns on how AI is used to used for harm, basically to generate, sexual or misleading content. He's calling for protections for students, a reference to the ongoing debate over AI in schools. And he says it's not permissible to entrust irreversible, lethal decisions to AI systems, a reference to AI being used in warfare. Notable here, guys, that this encyclical was presented alongside one of the co-founders of Anthropic, which has been pitching itself as kind of the ethics-minded AI company. And Politico recently reported that Amazon, Meta, and Google met with Vatican officials ahead of the release of this encyclical. So Pope Leo, not an AI doomer per se, but he does have a lot of concerns about this industry, and he's voicing them in this piece.
Mike, this isn't the first pope to warn about technology. What makes this moment in his message different?
Yeah, it's a good point. In fact, Pope Francis, who's Leo's immediate predecessor, frequently spoke about AI. He created this thing called the Rome Call for AI Ethics, which was basically designed to, promote this ethical approach to artificial intelligence, signed onto by major tech companies like Microsoft and IBM. Pope Leo has continued that sort of ethos in his 1 year as the head of the Catholic Church. In fact, on his second day as Pope, he told cardinals that the Church has to do more to address the risks that AI poses to human dignity, justice, and labor. And labor is important here, guys, because the timing of this particular encyclical is significant. It was released yesterday, but it was signed on May 15th, which is 135 years to the day since the release of a different papal encyclical called Rerum Novarum. That was an open letter aimed at protecting workers amidst the Industrial Revolution and the giant labor upheavals that were going on then. So it seems like Pope Leo is drawing a very clear line between the Industrial Revolution and the potential for AI to bring about the same thing.
So is this a warning, Mike, or are there action steps here?
Yeah, it's a good question. Kind of what does this all mean? For one, the Vatican is not a huge political player, right? This isn't a law. This isn't like something that's actually going to change kind of the everyday user's experience with AI, at least in the short term. However, guys, I think it's worth mentioning that this is a big sort of moment when it comes to the global discussion around artificial intelligence. The Vatican and the Pope both wield a lot of soft power. There are 1.4 billion Catholics around the world, and while not all of them are hanging on every encyclical, it's not crazy to say that what the Pope says matters. The Vatican is also a neutral mediating force here, and with these calls kind of inherent within the encyclical put out yesterday, it could potentially serve as a template, not just for, governments around the world to use as they think about their own AI regulation, but the Vatican could also serve as sort of this intermediary between political rivals. You think maybe the U.S. and China, who are both kind of racing to develop super advanced artificial intelligence, maybe instead of directly negotiating on an ethical way to do that, maybe they use the Vatican as kind of a middle ground there. Now, it's long before we get to that point, but it seems like the Pope and Vatican City really want to play a role in this very important technology. And as we talk about, guys, there is historical precedent for something like this.
Mike, I've never thought about this before, but as I think about another big tech story this week, I'm wondering, the Pope Mobile, it's not a Ferrari, is it?
No,
I
although
didn't think so.
Some fun facts, Ferrari has gifted past popes Ferraris, but I think that's mostly just because of the Italy connection.
Yeah.
Pope John Paul II, as a matter of fact, was gifted the 400th Ferrari Enzo, which was a big car in the early 2000s.
Okay, fun fact there. But the reason I bring that up is because Ferrari pulled the wraps off its first electric car, which is styling penned by iPhone designer Joni Ive. What have you learned about this?
Yeah, this is a significant car, guys. Ferrari pulling the wraps off the Lucca, which is a four-door crossover, so it doesn't look really anything like what we expect Ferraris to look like. And it is the brand's first all-electric vehicle. They've been dabbling in hybrids for a while now, but this is their first all-electric effort. There are electric motors on every wheel, so 4 of them, good for a combined 1,050 horsepower, according to the company. It's going to be built at an all-new facility at Ferrari's headquarters in Maranello, Italy. And as he referenced, it's designed by Joni Ive, who is responsible for the iPhone and the iPad and the way that Apple looks in the modern age. He left Apple a few years ago, started his own design firm called Love From, and this is one of their first big projects. It features really interesting styling elements like taillights that disappear and an interior infotainment screen that can kind of swivel between the driver and the passenger. It is divisive, though. People, are kind of pushing back on the styling of this vehicle. Automotive News calls the Lucha styling potentially polarizing. This morning, Ferrari's stock price is down pretty significantly, and there are some pretty major headwinds that this car faces. All electric vehicles at this ultra high end of the market have really struggled to catch on with, some of Ferrari's rivals out there, Lamborghini chief among them, walking away from their EV plans in favor of hybrids and preserving sort of the engine note and the feeling of an internal combustion engine. Guys, this car goes from 0 to 60, the Lucha, in 2.5 seconds. That's not super far off from the acceleration run of a Kia EV6 GT, which can manage that in the low 3-second range. Kia and Ferrari, not often mentioned in the same breath, but when you're an electric car maker and when you're a brand like Ferrari, everything's fast, right? Like, electric power has democratized speed in a really significant way, and that's prompted some interesting conversations at companies like Ferrari about how they can distinguish themselves.
Yeah, when I think Ferrari, I think red, fast, and 2 doors. When I look at this, I think it's a spiced-up version of a Toyota Camry, and it's light blue. Not exactly what Enzo had in mind, but the price tag is very Ferrari and not very Kia.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, guys. $640,000 is what we're thinking. It's actually 550,000 euros, and we're doing a direct conversion. The actual price in the U.S. might be slightly different, but even still, it's going to be a hefty chunk of change, and it's going to exist kind of towards the top end of Ferrari's lineup. Now, Ferrari has made SUVs in the past. They make the Ferrari Purosangue, which is a V12 gas-engined SUV sort of vehicle that kind of exists in this same space. So it's going to be interesting if there's any internal competition between these two vehicles. But again, it's such a distinct-looking vehicle, and the numbers, while eye-popping, again, more than 1,000 horsepower is a lot of horsepower, it's not hugely different from what you can access at the lower end of the market. And maybe Ferrari was trying to make an argument here that, like, hey, we have Johnny Ive styling. We have this sort of revolutionary design. It is pretty polarizing, though. So, like, it's an interesting conundrum that this company has found themselves in. For what it's worth, though, if you have an extra $640,000 lying around, they will go on sale in the U.S., they say, in the second quarter of 2027. And the full electric range is 329 miles, which is not too bad.
So, Mike, what do you think? Is Ferrari late to the EV party, or do you think they were smart as a company for waiting?
That's a good question. I think at this end of the market, it's less about being a first mover when it comes to new technologies and more, delivering a unique experience, right? The engine note of a Ferrari, the sound the cars make is huge to that brand and what we think about when we think about Ferraris. The feeling of driving a V12 or a V8 in these cars is also huge and very distinct from other cars. Again, this is how a company like Ferrari was able to distinguish itself from lesser brands. And now that EVs kind of all drive the same, right? I've driven a bunch of electric vehicles, and the actual driving experience is, broadly speaking, pretty similar. They're all pretty fast in a straight line, and they're all very quiet. How does Ferrari distinguish itself? It's an open question. And especially at this end of the market where people are willing to pay these huge sums, it's not necessarily like you have to chase trends, right? You need to stand out. And I think this car kind of struggles to do that in a lot of ways.
Always great information. Fun to check in with ABC's Mike Dubusky on a Tech Tuesday. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Of course, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, just give my friends at Geis a call today. They'll get you back in the game with brands like CHI and LiftMaster. Incredible inventory. That is amazing. They will be able to turn around your project quickly because of that massive inventory. You'll see it at their showroom in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road. That's where you'll find Geis. They also have a custom design center. Doors and openers for every budget, that custom design room. They got you covered here from A to Z. It's Geis. Visit their showroom in Brookfield. Connect with the wonderful people that have made Geis what they are for 70 years. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit geisdoors.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you, who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Warm temperatures, 90 degrees, 87 near the lake, 60 your overnight low, high of 85 inland tomorrow, 75 near the lake.
The Greek Freak is teaming up with a rock in a new promo for the upcoming Moana movie.
You are the Greek Freak, but to be a true demigod, just like Maui, you gotta have a fearsome tattoo.
Mini Greek Freak is adorable.
It's fun to watch this, but it also had me wondering if Buck superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo is in the new Moana movie.
A little cameo or his voice behind some sort of animated character? That'd be cool.
I was like, I looked at the credits. He's not listed in what's available right now, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stars in the Disney flick, and we're streaming the video live right now. It's going viral. The campaign is called, and I know you've watched Moana a number of times, so it's from Milwaukee to
Montanui.
There you go.
Yeah.
Giannis's kids, they must love this, seeing dad in this. And then all of a sudden he puts on this wig, which that's a little part that got a little weird for me. He puts on this wig and then they've got the fan and Giannis's hair is just blowing like he's a supermodel. I think they're trying to make it so he's like a Disney demigod.
Yeah, so in the first Moana and the second one, Maui, who becomes kind of the character that steals the show, voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is a demigod. And he's got the long flowing hair and all the tattoos, which represents the years of his life and the things that he's done. He is the ageless one in Moana 1 and 2.
So this is fun. The social media collab really leans heavily into the Greek Freak moniker to reimagine Giannis as a literal Disney demigod. And the new Moana movie, by the way, comes out in July.
It'll be popular, no doubt about that. 1 was great, 2 not so much. I'm curious about 3. 2:55 on WTMJ. We are out of time here. Wisconsin's afternoon news is right around the corner, followed by Brewers baseball. Should be a roof open kind of night, we hope, as the Brewers go for 2 in a row against the Cardinals. If you missed our show, check us out. Our podcast page, built by Siding Unlimited, wherever you get your podcasts. You can subscribe to Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton